minors.
So not just talking about since the last couple of weeks that
Correct.
you've been up here, going back to conversations before.
So I find that to be interesting. I still think part of the reason he didn't come up until he did is, manipulating service time. I think if he signed a contract and played ball in spring, he'd be up here like Christian Campbell was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they just know they're far apart, which is why they haven't had any discussions.
Yeah, I mostly agree with that. And am I panicking over it? No. Like, it's still very early for him. And I don't think that this indicates yet that they have, like, different visions of his role on the team or that it's going to become a major distraction. But it's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I also know, even if the Red Sox pay somebody, as we found out with Rafael Devers, doesn't exactly mean anything. They can hand out all the extensions they want. That doesn't exactly mean anything at the end of the day. So stay tuned. You got Red Sox and Reds, the resumption of last night's game. Dan Ball going to get you game ready. I'm going to hang out. Mego, thanks for hanging out the last couple of days.
Yep, I'll be on tomorrow.
Okay.
Same time.
Tune in right here, 10 o'clock on WEEI. Red Sox pregame comes your way right now.
Odyssey Sports broadcast is brought to you by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico.
To resume Game 87 of the 2025 season against the Cincinnati Reds. It's Game 2 of their series and Game 5 of a homestand that has seen the Red Sox win 2 and lose 2 thus far. We have plenty to get to today ahead of first pitch of inning 4 of Game 2 of this series. Later on in the show, we'll hear from Alex Cora, who sat down with Lou Merloni earlier today. Plus, Will Middlebrooks will join us from the booth at Fenway Park, and we'll hear Rob Bradford's conversation with Roman Anthony. We'll reset you with the starting lineups, give you the new pitching matchup for today, and so much more. But first, nice enough to join us for a crossover today. I'm interrupting his vacation by about 10 minutes or so here on this Wednesday. The host of Jones and Keefe weekdays from 10 to 2 here on WEEI, Adam Jones. Jones, thanks for joining us today. How you doing?
Yeah, well, look, I was not trying to rush home to go see my wife and kid. Anyway, I see them enough, so I'm more than happy to hang out and talk some Sox with you, Dan. I also didn't realize we were just playing on WEEI, not necessarily on the radio network. We were playing a little snippet of Roman Anthony, which I did think was interesting stuff for people to stick around and stay tuned in for.
Well, excited to hear that and be able to kind of hear what has been a really nice emergence. It's been a frustrating season amidst a frustrating maybe half decade for this Red Sox group. But of all the few positive storylines that sit around this group, Jones, is Roman Anthony number one at the top of that list for you?
I think so. I mean, I had been... Look, I understand we're looking at a kid and not trying to, break down his career or crap all over his career before it even gets going. But I was getting a little tired of hearing he looks like he belongs, he's patient, he takes a good at bat, and then he'd go 0 for 5. And he was hitting at one point like 074. And I'm like, all right, I'm not saying you need to come out and hit 30 home runs or hit 300 or whatever. I need some production. And if you're not ready, then you're going to have to go get more seasoning like Christian Campbell. That doesn't mean you're a bad prospect. That doesn't mean you can't play. Bradford has said this 8,000 times. But Mike Trout even had to go back down to the minors after a brief cup of coffee. So that wouldn't be the end of the world. But I can't have you up here going 0 for 5 every night, batting second or third, and not producing and putting together just a good at bat. So the fact he's coming around, and it's modest. Mego just made this point. It's 5 games. It's a 5-game hitting streak.
Right.
He has multiple hits in 3 straight games. We'll see if that continues when this game resumes. But yeah, no, that to me is a positive step for this team in a year where there really haven't been many of them. I mean, Crochet's been one. Maybe you can talk yourself into Chapman or the emergence of Narvaez. This is one of them, and this is a reason to feel good going forward, I think.
As we talk about some of the prospects and hopefully the future for this group, where do you fall on the prospect that has gotten back down to AAA in Christian Campbell? Is this a dip down to get right and then come back, or do you see a bit of a longer process for him?
Well, I mean, my hope is dip down and come back. I don't know where he fits, though, right? So I don't want him in the outfield. I don't really think I want him at second base. I mean, what I would do is whenever Bregman comes back, hopefully it's before the All-Star break, but maybe it's the second half. What I would do is Bregman's at third. I'd play Meyer at short, and I'd move Story to second.
I like that.
I bet the Red Sox won't do that.
Right.
But either way, second base is going to be taken by Story or more likely Marcelo Meyer. So where does Campbell fit? Is he first base? Is he in the DH mix? So I don't know exactly where he fits in. But if he goes back to AAA and starts hitting again and looks like he's got himself right, I want him back up here. They need the bat. I don't know where you plug him in, but they need the bat.
That's the curious case of him is I'm not really sure they know where he fits in at this point either, because the defense has been a little uncomfortable. The entire process has been a bit uncomfortable for him as a rookie this season, but hoping for progress as we continue to watch him move his way through. The reports coming out earlier today talking once again about moves at the trade deadline from Jim Bowden this time around, and Aroldis Chapman mentioned that wasn't as much of a surprise, but the Alex Bregman conversation. I would be personally, just as a fan of this group, heartbroken if after trading Rafael Devers, you also arrived at the reality where you can't find a resolution in this Alex Bregman situation. But are you a believer in they can get something done, or is Alex Bregman playing for a different team at the end of the year?
My real belief is I just think this is Boris squawking, and I wouldn't react to it if I were the Red Sox. I don't think Bregman's going to get more money by opting out, so I don't think he's going to opt out. So I would call his bluff, but I don't think he's going anywhere. I think, if anything, and we talked to Brad Foe yesterday on Jones and Keefe on WEEI, he thinks maybe they would rework the deal to keep him here. Again, I wouldn't overreact to that. The Red Sox don't exactly have the greatest track record. This was pointed out to me of understanding the marketplace for their players.
Yeah.
So if you're fearful of that, fine. I'm not going to stamp my feet if they work out an extension with Bregman. I just don't think, and I love him. I pounded my feet for re-signing him, or bringing him in rather, in the first place. I championed the signing to bring him in because I think he's a winner. I think he's a really good player. I think he came off a bit of a down season going into a free agent year, but I wanted him here. I wouldn't overreact to Scott Boras saying they're willing to listen on a contract. Of course he is. That's an agent doing their job. I think Bregman's going to be here, and I just don't think he's going to opt out and get more money when he missed 2 months. And he's another year older, and there wasn't a ton of interest in him, at least the interest he expected a year ago. I don't think there's going to be more this go-round.
That's a very fair point. I mean, the one team that comes up in trade conversations, and if he ever did make it to the market again, is Detroit, and they've been pretty boastful about how much they'd want to bring him in the mix. But it's a very fair point that if he continued on his 300 average, his all-star starter type pace that we saw at the beginning of the year, maybe he does test the market and tries to get that 6 or 7 year deal. Because the one thing that resonated with me during the offseason, he made comments saying, "Hey, I'm looking to prove I can play in a market for a long time." As much as he signed the deal in Boston and was excited to be back with Alex Cora, the ultimate goal that he alluded to was, I want to find my next home, ideally for the remainder of my career. We'll see where that goes in terms of if the Red Sox are willing to commit long-term dollars to him, because the more we see a deal like Trevor Story going sour, Masataka Yoshida going sour, and Rafael Devers being traded, the less likely I feel that John Henry is going to be willing to sign that 6 or 7 year contract that he may require.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't even know that the Red Sox would do that.
Yeah.
And so that's fair on your end. The one comment that made me a little uncomfortable from Bregman, and I forget if this was 2 days ago or earlier in the week, but he said it this week, is he does want long-term security.
Yeah.
And he does not have that on this deal. It's basically a year-to-year deal. So that's the one thing that caught my ear different than Boris. But again, I'm guessing, as just a guess, I'm guessing he's going to prioritize $40 million a year average annual value and take that in, as opposed to, oh, well, I want the security 5-6 years down the line. He turned that down from Detroit. He took this job last offseason, or took this contract last offseason. I don't think he's going anywhere. I certainly wouldn't trade him if I were the Red Sox. I'd be looking to go the other way and add.
We're speaking with Adam Jones, host of Jones and Keefe on WEEI, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., or at least till 1:30 here today, as we send him off on his July 4th vacation in just a couple of moments. But we already had you play Armchair GM for the infield. The outfield also has a bit of a log jam. And Jarren Duran has been the name that's come up seemingly more than most in terms of players who may be on the outside looking in. He brings a lot to the table when he's going right, but you sometimes rarely see him going at 100% other than this past season. So where do you fall on the confusing conversation around Jarren Duran, and do you think he is a long-term member of this picture?
I would keep him.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what you're asking. Now look, somebody wants to get stupid and give you a high-end pitcher for Jarren Duran, tell me who that is, and we can talk about it.
Sure.
But I'm not itching to trade Jarren Duran. I think, and I'm trying to remember the lineup for this game. So this I like. So Anthony was at DH.
Yes.
I'm not saying you never play Roman Anthony in the outfield, but I don't think he's a plus in the outfield. Durant's had a bad year out there. But I think your ideal outfield right now, the way Rafael is hitting, and I would have answered this differently a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, but the way Rafael is going now, I want him in center every day. He almost made an unbelievable catch. I mean, he makes unbelievable catches all the time, but he almost made an unbelievable one in Crochet's start the other night, going back, diving over his shoulder into the triangle.
Yeah.
I want Abreu in right, I want Durant in left, and I want Anthony mostly DHing, which is part of why I don't know where Campbell fits in if and when he comes back. Maybe at first base, maybe. But I think that's your ideal outfield. So, look, if you get a high-end pitcher for Jarren Duran, I think you have to listen. I think a pitcher would help you more in terms of balancing out your roster and competing and trying to make a playoff push and maybe even make a run in the postseason. And your outfield could be Anthony, Rafaela, Abreu. It frees up DH. And now you have a more balanced team. I could be talked into that. I just wonder what Duran's trade value is right now.
Right.
Like, he's cost-controlled. He's relatively young. He's coming off an MVP caliber season a year ago where he was in the mix last season. If you're telling me you're going to get blown away for Jarren Duran, I'm interested, but I doubt that personally, and I wouldn't want to sell low.
No, absolutely the case. If you were going to do it, unfortunately, and this is always how revisionist history works, you needed to do it last offseason. Same way if you were going to move on from Tristan Casas, doing it this past offseason probably was not the one to do it. We talk a million and one times on this station just about the individual talent on this roster. It does, as we continue these discussions, seem like there is at least wild card team talent on the 2025 Red Sox. What is it about this group, and why is there seemingly no consistency between the team that'll score 13 runs and the team that will come out and be shut out? I feel like that's the million-dollar question that would get you hired by the Red Sox if you could answer it. But is there anything that jumps out as to why we don't know which Red Sox group we're getting day in and day out?
Yeah, well, Cora can't read every single pitcher and the pitches he tips, so that I'd say that's part of it. So I would guess there's correlation to when the offense explodes.
Sure.
Like the other night, Chase Burns in the first game of this series. I also think, look, not to let him off the hook too much, but when you have Bregman out of the lineup and you have Abreu out of the line, and you've already seen with Abreu back, they've had a couple of these blow-up games offensively, 2 in their last 3, not counting the game that'll resume today. So I think already getting him back, I think Bregman would take it that much farther. And I do think, for as good of an individual hitter as Devers was, I do think he was problematic for the roster makeup while he was here. There was no roster flexibility. He was in at DH every single day, which I think prevented guys for a while, at least until there was an injury to Bregman, like Meyer coming up, Anthony coming up. I think it kind of gummed up the works. You had to put players at first and third that maybe didn't belong there. So I do think that contributed to the offensive issues before. I think it's a little different now. You're spackling it together with Eaton and Toro and guys like that because of injuries. When you're healthy, I still believe this offense should get going. That doesn't mean it's the best offense in baseball. It's probably not a top 5 offense in baseball,
right,
but it should definitely be better than it's shown. And I think overall the talent's a lot better than it was a year ago. And that's a team that finished 500. That's a team that was in the mix around the trade deadline. If they bought properly, could have been a playoff team a year ago. I think this team has much more talent than that team. And so I think this team still has a chance to take off, but they got to do it soon. We can only wait for it for so long.
Make sure you tune in, Jones and Keefe, weekdays 10 to 2 here on WEEI. You can follow the show at Jones and Keefe, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you're on social media. And make sure you follow Adam Jones at Jones WEEI. Thank you for taking a couple of minutes to join us here on the Mass Mutual pregame show. Great to be able to catch up and enjoy a couple of days to catch your breath.
You know what? I will enjoy a couple of days to catch my breath, and I'm sure most of the audience will enjoy that as well. So thanks for letting me hang out, Dan.
Always. That is Adam Jones joining us here on the Mass Mutual pregame show. When we return, we'll catch up with Will Middlebrooks live from the booth at Fenway Park. I'm Dan Ball. This is the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow.
Did the largest panoramic display in its class help the 2025 Lincoln Nautilus to be named Motor Trend's 2025 SUV of the Year? Maybe. Maybe it's because the Lincoln Nautilus offers both a gas and an available hybrid powertrain. Perhaps it's the new Lincoln Digital Experience, available 28-speaker sound system, or second-row legroom that is among the most in its class. Maybe it's a bit of everything. Discover it for yourself by visiting your local Lincoln retailer. Lincoln, the power of sanctuary. Class is medium, premium utility. Motor Trend 2025 SUV of the Year is a registered trademark of Motor Trend Group, LLC. All rights reserved.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So, what's that about?
So, let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
You're listening to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
This is the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Dan Ball. Game 2 of the series between the Red Sox and the Reds will resume in the fourth inning in just about half an hour or so. So plenty more to come here on the pregame show. But for the moment, we send it out to the booth at Fenway Park, where we're joined by Will Middlebrooks. Will, thanks so much for joining us. How are you?
Hey, Dan, how we doing?
All is well. All is well. Pleasure to be able to catch up with you. And I got to ask you about rain delays just as an idea. You've now seen him as a player. You've seen him as a broadcaster. So my question for both of the positions that you've held, what the heck do you do during a rain delay?
Well, as a broadcaster, it's way easier because you don't have to keep the body loose. You kind of just find who else is hanging out in the same position. You go just hang out with them. You know, unfortunately, in this job, you can't sit up here and, have a beer and hang out like that. So you got to stay on top of your game just in case,
Yeah.
But as a player, it was you would always try to get a feel for, you're trying to play weatherman, right? And you're looking at your phone, your the computer or whatever, trying to figure out, all right, how long is this going to be? Because if it's quick, I'm going to either stay in the dugout or I'm going to stay in the cages. I'm going to keep swinging the bat, keep the body loose, so I don't have to start over again once we get back on the field. But if it's going to be a long one, you end up going in, you just play cards, and you're going to have to totally restart the car.
Is there one that jumps out in your mind is, I can't believe how long we had to sit around for this rain delay as a player?
Man. There was one in 2012. I don't remember the exact date, but if it was that heavy a rain, it had to have been a Saturday here in Boston. and I remember it was against the Texas Rangers because Darren Oliver, he was like a super
what
veteran
a name,
lefty.
Yeah.
How about that pull?
Yeah.
And I remember him coming in the game for the Rangers because he was basically their long guy and a guy who had started throughout his career. He was at the end of his career. And I remember getting to face him, and I grew up a Rangers fan because I was like, this is awesome. I get to face him. I hit a double off the wall, but I remember the best parts of it were that all the fans that were left, and it had been like 3 hours. It was late. It was 11:30, midnight, something like that.
Right.
And there were maybe 500 fans left, and they were all along the fence lines because everyone could move up close, and you can hear everyone. And it's the rowdiest, drunkest group of human beings left, and it's so much fun.
Man, and by the way, thank you for Darren Oliver for my immaculate grid answer today. I'm gonna use that one for sure. But we get to resume here with Game 2 today, in another unfortunate and bizarre circumstance for Richard Fitz, who cannot buy himself a win, both for his own personal record and for the Boston Red Sox. Won't feature in the decision either way, but will still have a chance to be a part of a win for his group. From a stuff perspective, what did you take away from the couple innings that we saw from Richard Fitz last night?
It started off and I'm going, oh man, the command didn't look great. He was missing up high a lot with the fastball, which you're going to see from guys like him because they have to pitch to the top of the zone with their fastball. It's where it plays the best with the spin and the carry and all that. When it's 97, 98, it's going to play up there. And he was missing up high, but he seemed to settle in with it. He was just at 38 pitches through 3. So I was pretty happy with him. A couple hits. Obviously, he gave up the 1 run because the infield was playing back. When was that? That would have been in the 3rd inning, top of the 3rd. We gave that up. So I was happy with him, and it felt like one of those games where the Sox offense was going to continue to score some runs, and he was going to get that win. And at this point, it just got to be like, is this ever going to happen for me?
Right. And at a certain point, it has to almost become a mental thing. Not that it's gonna stop you from making your starts, but that has to be something that creeps into a pitcher's mind or just a player's mind at a certain point, right?
Yeah, a little bit. It's like who was the kid who came up last year who couldn't get the hit? He couldn't get his big first.
Oh,
big
Mickey
league hit.
Gaspard. Yeah.
Gaspard.
Yeah.
And it was like one of those type things where, I don't know, Fitz has had some success. The team just hasn't won behind him, so it's a little different. Like, he's had his first strikeout and all that, so it's a little different. But the same type mental thing in the back of your head, like, is this ever going to happen? Am I going to be the first guy to never get a win? Which it won't happen. It's going to happen for him at some point.
No question about that. And it's always fun to play armchair manager. That's what a lot of us are compensated for here on WEEI. But I feel like a lot of fans, and myself included, are intrigued by Richard Fitz if he can just get a bit of consistency and be an every fifth day guy for an extended period of time. He seems to have a lot of the things in the makeup that you would want from a middle of the rotation arm for this group.
I mean, he came to spring training this year, and all of a sudden he went from 94, 95 to 97, 98.
Right.
And as a hitter, that makes things a lot tougher. You have to gear up for the fastball, and it's a good one at the top of the zone. You have to really almost cheat to it to get to it, which makes you susceptible to the breaking stuff that he's shown. And his slider is good, but he throws it middle of the plate a lot. So that's a command issue that he's going to have to work out the kinks on, because it does have good movement profile to it. It does look good. He just tends to start it too much arm side, and that gets to be a real hittable pitch.
We're talking with Mill Middlebrooks before the resumption of game number 2, Red Sox in the Cincinnati Reds, a game you can catch right here on WEEI. And Will, this is outside of the game that you're going to be calling. I heard a really fascinating conversation between you and Dave O'Brien when you were on the TV side, talking about his view on analytics versus yours. And, it was specific to Roman Anthony, who we can get into in just a moment. But from a player's perspective, and even current players now in 2025 versus when you were playing a couple of years back, what is that balance between what you're seeing on the iPad, what you're reading statistically, and just what you're seeing there at the plate? And do you think that's changing year over year for some of the players in 2025?
Yeah, it's almost an oversaturation of information for guys these days. And I think a lot of players look at it in a way of it's better to have it than not, because you can kind of sift through it and figure out what works best for you as an individual. And I mean, for me as a broadcaster, it helps me plan, right? Because I can look at I can go to Baseball Savant, which I use a lot when I'm looking at pitchers and their splits and the movement profile on their pitches, and I can look, all right, what's his whiff percentage, what's his walk rate, where's his percentile and all that, and I can pretty much tell you exactly what he is, who he is, just by reading that page based off of those numbers. So to a guy like Roman Anthony, which he's a hot topic right now. He's swinging the bat well. It's
right.
good. He's getting hits, right? And before that, I heard you and Jonesy talking a little before this, and he was like, I was so tired of people saying like he belongs here. He looks like he belongs. Well, he does, and he did, and that's baseball. And if you looked, and no one wants to hear about the underlying metrics, but that's how they grade players. So if that's how teams and organizations are going to grade players, then we have to evolve as broadcasters too,
right,
on how we view, and that helps us understand how the organization makes certain decisions and how they view players. So it's kind of something we all have to learn if we want to be on the same page. And when you're looking at that stuff on Roman Anthony, he was hitting the ball hard. He had a high walk percentage. Did he take some strike threes that he probably should have swung at? Absolutely. But he also had a lot really positive at bats and hard contact, which points everything in the history of baseball will show you if you have those things, they're going to tend to even out, and they've started to. And he's starting to hit the ball away from people. It's starting to actually land in the grass instead of leather, which it law of averages, it was bound to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. What a concept, being able to land him on the grass. That must be a great thing for him.
I wasn't very good at it, but Roman Anthony is very good at it.
And getting better by the day. And you hit on something that I feel like is such a key to his game and things that jumped out from more of an eye test perspective with fans right away. The maturity of the at-bats for a kid who was in his early 20s and is facing the best pitchers in the world, the best fastballs, the best changeups, the best breaking balls in the world. There really was very little panic right from Jump Street in the way that he was approaching every single at-bat.
Yeah, so he's had 73 plate appearances,
right,
and I've been here for every single one of them, and there's been one at bat only where he looked young, and that was in Anaheim, and they walked the bases loaded and brought him up, and they brought in a lefty, Reed Detmers, to face him, who's a very good lefty who throws upper 90s, good fastball. Lefties have trouble with him.
Yeah.
And he chased some pitches up above the zone, and
right,
he was jumpy. But that is the only time in 73 plate appearances that he's looked 21 years old. Outside of that, his approach has been really good. I do want to see him a little more aggressive on pitches in the zone with 2 strikes. He can get a little passive. but I'd rather a guy be a little more patient and seek out your pitch. And he's starting to do that more often and make more hard contact, hitting the ball in the gap. And like I said, finally find some grass.
Something that we were talking about, myself and Adam Jones, just a moment ago, as it pertains to Roman Anthony, is, well, where the heck does the kid fit in? Is you essentially still have four outfielders for three spots. So do you perceive him being more of a DH than not moving forward? And where do you think he profiles out as an outfielder?
Yeah, I think he profiles out probably better as a left fielder.
Okay.
It's so hard to tell right now what a guy's going to be when he's 21 years old, because he's at like his, I don't want to say peak athleticism, but he's so young and green right now when it comes to just pure athleticism. Now, he is more advanced when it comes to the baseball side of things than most 21-year-olds in this game.
Right.
So right now, I mean, yeah, you're going to see him get a lot of at-bats at DH just to keep his bat in the lineup, because he does have the ability to hit lefties. But in that same breath, you look at a Wilyer Abreu or a Jarren Duran who has trouble with lefties, and that's going to put him in the outfield playing some defense too. So it all comes down to, do we end up moving Duran? Do we end up moving Abreu? Is there some type of move that happens that clears a spot for if they want him to be an everyday defender as well?
That is one of the many roster-related questions that are floating around as they try to kind of make this puzzle come together. Something else that jumped out yesterday, and in sitting in the stands for yesterday's game for 3 innings before Mother Nature decided that my night was over. Watching Carlos Narvaez, I know this is not a hot take by any stretch of the imagination, Will, but where would this team be without what he has become for this group offensively and defensively?
Yeah, that's another guy who is really young. Was he 25 years old, and he's still very mature, right? And that's what you need in a catcher and a guy who, outside of the shortstop, is the captain of the defense, right? He has the whole field in front of him. He sees the whole game a little differently. But offensively, he's been great. I mean, he doesn't always go up there trying to hit the 3-run homer. Can he? Sure, we've seen it.
Yep.
But we've also seen second baseman continue to play him up the middle, and he'll go, all right, well, if you're just going to give me the 4-hole, I'll take my knock, right? He's really good at shortening up and just using that to his advantage. But defensively, I mean, my goodness, he's still learning. It's still a process in calling games, and I've had these conversations with Veritek, and that's a work in progress. But when you have a guy this young who hasn't called games at the big league level, that's part of the learning curve. But he does, if you're into metrics, close your ears if you're not. He leads all catchers in defensive runs saved.
Right.
And caught stealing above average. So it's not like he's just a framer. He's just receiving and calling the right. He's throwing guys out too. He's controlling the run game with the back pick to first base. He's comfortable throwing to all bases. And the biggest thing is, I think the pitching staff has really put a lot of trust in him. You don't see guys shake very often.
No question about that. That's been a huge element in what has been just a revelation for this group. But Will, you've been more than generous with your time. Before we let you go, just a quick thought on what you're hoping to see from Brian Bayo once this game resumes.
More of the same. I mean, he's gone 6 innings, 5 starts in a row. So that's been a good jump for him. I think he's starting to turn a corner. It's been a lot more weak contact, and look, he's not chasing strikeouts as much. I think he falls in trouble. We see him get 0-2, 1-2, and then the misses are massive because he's trying to get swing and miss and get strikeouts.
Yeah.
His sinker's so good. Like, throw it in the zone, and these guys are going to bash it into the ground. And I think the addition to the cutter has helped him a lot, because lefties were crushing his sinker because he tried to pitch in with it, and his miss with that is arm side. It runs back over the plate, middle, gets hit. Now that cutter allows him to pitch in on lefties and combat those guys.
All right, he is Will Middlebrooks. He and Sean McDonough will have the call of the resumption of Game 2 of this series, Red Sox and the Cincinnati Reds. Will, always great to catch up with you. Thank you for the time, and enjoy this truncated game here on this Wednesday.
All right, let's have a day, huh?
Let's have a day indeed. That is Will Middlebrooks joining us here on the Mass Mutual pregame show. Up next, Alex Cora spoke to our own Lou Merloni ahead of this afternoon's restart. We'll hear from him, plus a lot more coming up right after this. I'm Dan Ball. This is the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super-sized laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, here's Tracy from Lily's of Charleston.
Hi, y'all. We make barbecue sauce, hot sauce, and specialty popcorn.
They get help from Amazon to grow their small business faster.
They handle all our shipping and logistics, which is a big help.
All loaded up. Have a great day, Tracy.
Hot stuff, Tracy.
Ooh, honey.
Shop small business on Amazon.
Life offers us choices. When shopping for a luxury SUV, you should have the same benefit. The 2025 Lincoln Corsair SUV offers a traditional gas powertrain and the plug-in hybrid Grand Touring model. The spirit of choice continues with several available features to leave you reinvigorated, including perfect position massaging front seats, the jet appearance package, panoramic vista roof, and more. With an impressive list of both standard and available features, the right choice becomes clear. Discover it for yourself by visiting your local Lincoln retailer. Lincoln, the power of sanctuary.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So, what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This July 4th at Lowe's, get up to 40% off select GE appliances. Plus, get an additional 10% off when you buy 2 or 3 select major appliances, like the exclusive GE Profile 4.6 cubic foot capacity ventless and ultra-fast all-in-one washer and dryer combo with pet hair removal that separates hair from fabrics using high-speed airflow. Shop GE Profile deals at Lowe's. See associate for more details. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Exclusions apply. Valid 6/18 through 7/9.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale is going on now with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Get away with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Morning decisions. A creamy mocha frappuccino drink? A sweet vanilla? Maybe a smooth caramel? Or that white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Start your day with bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. Pick up a bottle near you wherever you buy your groceries.
1, 2, 3, 4. Those are numbers. But you already knew that. If you want to know what number you're going to pay each month for your car, use Kelly Blue Book My Wallet on Auto Trader. They're really good at numbers. Auto Trader.
You want to deliver the best retail experiences, but it's hard, especially with multiple stores, staff, fulfillment centers, GMVs, KPIs, OKRs, and the only thing harder is being in charge of it all. But when you switch to Shopify Point of Sale, you can unify retail operations and guarantee smooth shopping across every location. Shopify POS, the best retail experiences without complexity. Visit shopify.com/without complexity to learn more.
The South Coast Health Heart and Vascular Program is nationally recognized year after year for providing world-class care. Our Heart and Vascular team goes above and beyond to deliver the best clinical care and most compassionate service. You receive the time, attention, and communication you need to feel most comfortable, because at South Coast Health, you are what matters most. We are South Coast Health Heart and Vascular. Visit southcoast.org/heart to learn more.
Summer's all about fun in the sun. So before you hit the roads to your favorite destination, get your vehicle checked and prepped right at home with complimentary Ford mobile service. Ford expert technicians can perform a lot of the same services right in your driveway that they do in the dealership, like an oil change with the works package, brakes, batteries, tire rotation, and more. So whether you're grilling in the backyard or soaking up some rays, keep enjoying your summer with Ford mobile service. That's ownership built around you. Contact your participating dealer or visit fordservice.com for important details and limitations.
This is Alex Cora. You are listening to the home of the Red Sox, WEEI.
This is the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. I'm Dan Ball. Thanks so much for joining us. The resumption of Game 2 between the Red Sox and the Cincinnati Reds coming up in just a few moments. Before we continue, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Shaw's and Star Market, WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
From the WEEI Studios. 93.7 WEEI FM and HD1, Lawrence, Boston. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
All right, on we trudge. Normally on Wednesday afternoons, Red Sox manager Alex Cora joins WEEI Afternoons to discuss all things Red Sox. Because of the game today, we're moving that around. Alex Cora on WEEI Afternoons is brought to you by Shaw's and Star Market, the official supermarket of the Red Sox Radio Network, by Arbella, here for baseball fans, here for good, and by John's Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when your drains don't flow. In lieu of their normal conversation with Alex Cora, here is Cora sitting down with Lou Merloni ahead of today's game.
All right, here with Red Sox manager Alex Cora. Obviously, suspended game, finishing it. You're up one, but again, you guys jump out in the first inning. You've had your issues, right? Maybe in the top of the first here at home at times, but it must be nice to get out in front.
Yeah, especially that way. It feels like Jaron is coming out of it, right? Good job by him recognizing who's playing left field and putting pressure on him. Kudos to Huddy. That was part of the scouting report. And then Roman just took what they gave him, and hit the ball the other way. Great at bat by Toro again, and Narvi, he shoots the ball to right field, and 2-0. Fitzy was throwing the ball outstanding. Jam shot to right field, infield hit. They score one, but I think we're in a good position. We got Bayo going from the fourth on. Let's see how he plays out.
Richard Fitz, it's been an interesting 3 weeks for him, right? Trying to rehab and then coming back in this rotation, coming back down again. Got to 80 pitches. I know we were talking hopefully getting him up higher than that. He ends up going 3. How does that affect his next outing? It's just been a tough 3 weeks for him, right?
Yeah, the up and down, right? We used him in Milwaukee, and then he had the tough one against the Angels. We had to send him down to stretch him out, and then, an okay one in Anaheim. Yesterday, Vila was up, and we were excited. I was just talking to Bells about it. He should be fine, but it's one of those that, is the now against the future, right? And this guy is very important for what we're trying to accomplish right now, but he's so important for us in the future. So, keeping the health, and he might pitch on Monday, then he pitches over the weekend, and then the All-Star break. So we'll see how we play it out, but we have no concerns. We'll see how he feels the next few days, and we go from there.
Offensively, the at-bats really been quality here. 3 of the last 4 days are all 4, but before the game, you were talking about the meetings and how they are different and they're individualized. Is that a lot to do with some of the youth and inexperience you have on this team? Do you feel like that really helps?
Yeah, it's very important. And as always, you have to make adjustments. There's a different group than 10 days ago. The group 10 days ago was different than the one in April. So we had some conversations about preparation and educating the players, and I think we are in that stage right now that we're so young that, they have no idea who's on the mound. They might see him on video, but what they do, what they're trying to accomplish against you, against me, against Roman Anthony, and I think the group has made a great job the last 4 or 5 days, just guiding through them, and you see the results.
The last couple of weeks, really, you watch Marcelo Meyer at third base and you forget that it's kind of a new position for him. And there's been times where maybe he's put himself in some spots, but he's so smooth out there. He looks so confident out there. He still finishes off plays. How impressive has it been? You forget he hasn't really learned the position.
Yeah, I think the footwork is amazing. The hands are soft, and there was the in-between hop that, he handcuffed him, but he didn't panic. He's been making great throws to first base. He sees the plays, and yesterday he was talking about, he hit the ball, I looked to second just in case, and then the ball was right on me. I'm like, okay, at least he's thinking the game, he's looking ahead, and he's been solid. You saw him at second base. He made some good plays at second, kind of like understanding the situations. The one he almost made in the hole. So. We have no issues with him, like I said earlier too. If we put him on first base, I bet he'll make every play over there. He's a total package. Good base running too, good defender, and offensively he's still learning, but he's doing an outstanding job.
I want to ask you about Cedon because the year really has been impressive here, especially recently. And we forget he came up here really, really young, and we looked at some of the numbers last year, and he said if you can just improve slightly here, and he's doing exactly that. Is this something you think it's clicked for him? And we know it's not going to last all year, but he's figuring it out.
Yeah, and he understands what he needs to do. Brady was running early today. Cedon came out, just talked to him about the game yesterday and the night before. Brady was like, hey, man, you saw 30 pitches, you didn't chase 1 2 nights ago. And then he's like, yeah, but yesterday I saw 5 and I chased 4, you know, so which is awesome. You know, he's recognizing what was good for him, what doesn't work for him, and understanding the type of hitter he is. You know, we need him to pull the ball in the air, especially here at Fenway, but we need him to control the strike zone, hit the ball hard, and this past month was a good one.
And finally, Brian Bale going here tonight. He's on a nice little run. I think it's 5 quality starts in a row. He's throwing the ball well. Starting the game in the 4th, will this be different for him in any way, you think?
No, I think preparation-wise is the same. You know, just the lineup starts with Hayes, right? And you know, we need him to go deep into the game. You know, where we at pitching-wise. We're a little bit short in a sense. Obviously, we're gonna get the 27th guy for game 2, but I think, you know, up 1-0, just go 5, flip the ball to Chappie, and let's get the W.
All right, sounds good. Good luck tonight. Try to win that series right here in this game 1.
Thank you, Luke.
Well, we always appreciate the time with Alex Cora here on the Mass Mutual pregame show, and it's time now for the McFarland Energy 2-Minute Grill with Rob Bradford, presented by McFarland Energy, the region's most dependable provider of home heating oil, including BioHeat, as well as expert HVAC services at McFarlandEnergy.com. Here is Rob Bradford's conversation with the emerging star of the Red Sox, Roman Anthony.
So the obvious question is, what is the thing or things that like sort of maybe has not caught you off guard, but like, oh, I thought I was prepared.
I wasn't prepared for how good the food was.
Ooh.
And how nice the travel is. Like, you know, you hear about it and you're like, oh, okay, well, I hear about it when I'm in the minor leagues riding 15-hour bus rides and stopping at gas stations, and then you actually get here and you're like, oh, wow, they weren't kidding.
You get on the plane, right? And they're like, here's your fried clams, clam chowder, and shrimp cocktail. And by the way, and now here's the menu for the dinner that you're going to have after you eat that.
It's like, here's your starter that is like a 5-course meal. And then you get, you know, the steak menu with different cuts of steak, and you're just like, wow, I'm pretty...
And a nice seat.
I don't even really know what to order. There's like too many options. Something I'm still adjusting to is finally being here and you know, walking to get a coffee and
you don't
people...
have to pay for anything. Just cut out and say it.
Yeah,
you go across the street to Loco, you don't have to pay for anything.
Yeah.
Right?
So yeah, I mean...
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. And then, you know, just that's another thing you kind of adjust to is just going to grab a coffee in the morning and forgetting that, you know, people are still going to want to interact with you outside of the stadium. And for me, like, I'm just a normal, like, kid, I feel like, who's... Yeah. You know, when I go home to South Florida, I'm just doing my own thing. I can go anywhere, and nobody really...
I talked to you before about this contract extension.
Yeah.
What's your... you said that you hadn't got anywhere with it. Has anything changed?
No. I mean, since I've been here, it's been strictly baseball, and I think, you know, both sides have handled that well in terms of just letting me go and play, and you know, you got enough things to do here and worry about here when you're here playing. So, no, there hasn't even been a single peep about it since I've been here. And
no minors?
Nothing.
Nothing substantial?
No, nothing substantial that was anything that, you know, we could work out. So, for me, it was just the same goal. Like, even in the minor leagues, I was trying to get to the big leagues. I was trying to do my thing in the big leagues, and now that I'm here, it's the same thing. It's just, you know, focusing on being here and help the team win, and if that's a conversation to be had down the road or maybe when the season ends or whenever they think it's right, then, you know, I'm sure they'll bring it up, and if not, you know, we'll just continue to play.
Thank you to Robin. Thank you to Roman for doing that. Always great to get the perspective of a kid who's probably experiencing a lot right now as a rookie in Major League Baseball. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back to wrap things up next. I'm Dan Ball. This is the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So, what's that about?
So, let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Lowe's knows laundry day could use a little more convenience. That's why we have the GE Profile Ultra Fast Washer and Dryer Combo that washes and dries a large load of laundry in about 2 hours without the hassle of transferring clothes from the washer to the dryer. Shop GE Profile this July 4th at Lowe's. Based on completing normal wash and dry cycle with Eco-Dry using a 10-pound load in about 2 hours. See associate for more details. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, exclusions apply.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went,
I'm so excited.
yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale is going on now with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Get away with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
I'm Natalie Morales of 48 Hours. So much of our reporting focuses on the stories of victims who didn't survive. But what about those who lived to tell?
I survived a violent home invasion. There's no earthly reason why I'm alive.
From 48 Hours, this is It Could Have Been Me.
It makes you grateful for everything you have, you know.
You can follow and listen to It Could Have Been Me on Tuesdays in the 48 Hours podcast feed on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Cool off and cash in. The Pepsi Bottle Lotto Sweepstakes is turning every sip into a shot at prizes. Just scan specially marked 20-ounce Pepsi Cola bottles, enter the code under the cap, and you're in the game. Instant cash-in product prizes are up for grabs, with a winner every 60 seconds. And each week, someone's taking home 20 grand. Make this summer one to remember. Play now at BottleLotto.com. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 18+. Subject to official rules at BottleLotto.com. Ends 8/9/2025.
Morning decisions. A creamy mocha frappuccino drink? A sweet vanilla? Maybe a smooth caramel? Or that white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Start your day with bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. Pick up a bottle near you wherever you buy your groceries.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
The South Coast Health Heart and Vascular Program is nationally recognized year after year for providing world-class care. Our heart and vascular team goes above and beyond to deliver the best clinical care and most compassionate service. You receive the time, attention, and communication you need to feel most comfortable, because at South Coast Health, you are what matters most. We are South Coast Health Heart and Vascular. Visit southcoast.org/heart to learn more.
You want to deliver the best retail experiences, but it's hard, especially with multiple stores, staff, fulfillment centers, GMVs, KPIs, OKRs, and the only thing harder is being in charge of it all. But when you switch to Shopify Point of Sale, you can unify retail operations and guarantee smooth shopping across every location. Shopify POS, the best retail experiences without complexity. Visit shopify.com/without complexity to learn more.
Ask your smart speaker to play 93.7 WEEI. Now back to Red Sox baseball on WEEI.
This is the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. I'm Dan Ball. To reset the table for you this afternoon, the Red Sox at 42-44 are leading 2-1 against the Cincinnati Reds, who come into today with a record of 44-41. The Red Sox scored 2 runs in the bottom half of the first inning yesterday. Roman Anthony, an RBI double, driving in his 6th run of the season. That scored, or his 6th double of the season, I should say. That made it 1-0, scoring Jarren Duran. And then Carlos Narvaez, a couple batters later, Slater was able to drive in Roman Anthony with an RBI single, his 27th RBI of the season. That made it 2-0 after 1 for the Red Sox. The Reds were able to get on the board. An RBI ground out from Matt McLean in the top half of the third inning made it 2-1, but Richard Fitz was able to induce a fly ball and a fly out from Elly De La Cruz to end that inning. It was a rain delay that lasted 80 minutes between these two teams yesterday at Fenway Park that ultimately led to a suspension of the game. They will pick it up in the top half of the fourth inning in just about 10 minutes. To reset the lineup for you, TJ Friedel leads off in center field, then it's Matt McLean at second, Elly De La Cruz at short, Austin Hayes the DH, Gavin Lux in left, Spencer Steer at first, Jose Trevino is your catcher, Will Benson out in right, and then Christian Encarnacion Strand is at third. For the Red Sox, Jaron Duran in left, Roman Anthony your DH, Abraham Toro at first, Carlos Narvaez your catcher, Wilyer Abreu out in right, Trevor Story at short, Marcelo Meyer at third, David Hamilton at second, and Cedon Rafaela out in center. It is Sam Maul, the 33-year-old lefty out of Lakeland, Tennessee, who will be on the mound for the resumption of this game for the Cincinnati Reds up against Brian Bayo, who has only allowed more than 3 earned runs in a start one time this season. He enters today with a career-best 3.41 ERA, which is almost a full run better than his previous career high. So that is the pitching matchup. These are the lineups. We have the resumption of Game 2 between the Red Sox and the Cincinnati Reds coming up next. You've been listening to the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Coming up next, Sean McDonough and Will Middlebrooks will bring you the resumption of Game 2 between the Red Sox and the Cincinnati Reds from Fenway Park on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Thumbtack presents Uncertainty Strikes. I was surrounded. The aisle and the options were closing in. There were paint rollers, satin and matte finish, angle brushes, and natural bristles. There were too many choices. What if I never got my living room painted? What if I couldn't figure out what type of paint to use? What if I just used Thumbtack? I can hire a top-rated pro that knows everything about interior paint, easily compare prices, and read reviews. Thumbtack knows homes. Download the app today.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale is going on now with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Getaway with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
I'm Natalie Morales of 48 Hours. So much of our reporting focuses on the stories of victims who didn't survive. But what about those who lived to tell?
I survived a violent home invasion. There's no earthly reason why I'm alive.
From 48 Hours, this is It Could Have Been Me.
It makes you grateful for everything you have, you know.
You can follow and listen to It Could Have Been Me on Tuesdays in the 48 Hours podcast feed on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Cool off and cash in. The Pepsi Bottle Lotto Sweepstakes is turning every sip into a shot at prizes. Just scan specially marked 20-ounce Pepsi Cola bottles, enter the code under the cap, and you're in the game. Instant cash-in product prizes are up for grabs, with a winner every 60 seconds. And each week, someone's taking home 20 grand. Make this summer one to remember. Play now at BottleLotto.com. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 18+. Subject to official rules at BottleLotto.com. Ends 8/9/2025.
Morning decisions. A creamy mocha frappuccino drink? A sweet vanilla? Maybe a smooth caramel? Or that white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Start your day with bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drinks. Pick up a bottle near you wherever you buy your groceries.
Lowe's knows you don't want to sacrifice reliability for savings. This July 4th, get up to 40% off select LG appliances and purchase 2 or 3 select major appliances to get an additional 10% off. Save big on LG, America's most reliable line of home appliances at Lowe's. Based on independent reliability surveys 2021 to 2024 and select major appliances as compared to competing manufacturers offering full appliance lines. See associate for more details. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Exclusions apply. Valid 6/18 through 7/9.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader. Like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on Auto Trader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on Auto Trader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on Auto Trader. Just you wait. Auto Trader.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
This is Red Sox baseball.
Can you believe it?
On the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
And the left field, adios. Sale winds, he fires. Swing and a miss, strike three, it's over. And the Red Sox win. Jump on his back, fellas, the Red Sox win.
The Red Sox on WEEI are brought to you by Shaws and Star Market, the official supermarket of the Red Sox Radio Network. Subaru of New England. Find your authorized Subaru retailer at SubaruofNewEngland.com.
And Hideo Nomo's pitched a no-hitter.
Mass Mutual, insurance, planning, investments. Nissan. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com.
And that ball is gone into the front row of the monster seats.
Drains by James. Eastern Mass's choice for drain cleaning and pipelining. Arbella, here for good.
Fires. Swing and a miss, strike three, it's over.
Buy cars for kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today. Ford Trucks, official truck of the Boston Red Sox.
Strike three, a no-hitter. 23-year-old Trey Buchholz has no-hit the Baltimore Orioles.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Sponsored by Town Fair Tire. For the best prices on tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Duran will score.
Dig Safe. Click digsafe.com or call 811 before you dig. Cape Cod Lumber. Find the lumber for your next project. cclco.com.
Way back. Grand slam.
Citgo. Club Citgo can save you money every day. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. 110 Grill. Gluten-free dining done right. C&S Wholesale Grocers.
It's gone. Into the bullpen.
Brought to you by FindMassMoney.gov. The Department of Veteran Affairs. Hackman Wealth Partners. Boston's premier retirement planning specialist.
Well, they just yelled Belichick and A-Rod are having words, and now they're in a fight.
Herb Chambers. At Herb Chambers, we don't sell cars, we help people buy them. Interlock Metal Roofing. Visit NewEnglandMetalRoofing.com. Never re-roof again.
Swing and a miss. He got him. Battle won by House.
McFarland Energy, the region's most dependable provider of home heating oil delivery, as well as expert HVAC services at McFarlandEnergy.com. Northern Bank, your partner for growth.
Here's the throw. Roberts dives, and he is safe.
And by Verizon Wireless, the network Boston relies on. New England Chevy dealers. Together, let's drive.
Goodbye, Christian Campbell.
Now, with all the play-by-play action, here's Sean McDonough and Will Middlebrooks.
And good afternoon, everybody, from Fenway Park. Delighted to have you with us as the Red Sox and Cincinnati Reds are just moments away from the resumption of last night's game, which was suspended after 3 innings. When some nasty weather moved through, the game halted, and after an 80-minute wait, it was decided the better part of valor was to play today, and it's a very pleasant day here in the hub. Still a little bit warm and on the humid side, but more comfortable than it was certainly last night, and not the prospect of rain here this afternoon and this evening. They will play the regularly scheduled game tonight at 7:10. Sean McDonough and Will Middlebrooks. Will, last night through the first 3 innings, Red Sox led 2-1 when play was halted. And, of course, when this happens, the managers have decisions to make. And an interesting one for Alex Cora. He has decided to have Brian Bayo take the mound at the start of the resumption of this game. He was scheduled to start the night game tonight.
Yeah, I actually like it, right? It's a chance to win the series in this game. You have the lead. You had that great first inning, back-to-back doubles by Duran and Anthony to start the game. Carlos Narvaez ended up driving in the second run. if he had 4 base runners in that first inning, I do feel bad for Richard Fitz. He's not gotten his first big league win yet, and not going to get it in this one. Didn't throw enough in this one to get it. And he was throwing the ball well yesterday, had a lead. It kind of felt like the offense was going to continue to score runs and get him that first win. And then Mother Nature came in, made that decision for him.
Well, it is possible that the Red Sox will at least win a game that he started, because in his 10 career starts for the Red Sox 0-10. So there is a chance at least the team will win, even if he will not get the win himself. We're waiting for the teams to take the field. Very sparse crowd here as we get ready for the resumption of play. The ticket holders for last night's game have the tickets for this game. And based on what we are looking at right now, very few of them have decided to return for the afternoon game. Richard Fitz, by the way, in those 3 innings last night, gave up just 1 run on 2 hits. Walked 1 and struck out. He threw 38 pitches, 24 strikes. And the Red Sox came after, as Will said, Brady Singer early with 2 runs right out of the gate in the bottom of the first, back-to-back doubles by Jarren Duran and Roman Anthony. Anthony's 2-bagger drove in Duran. And then after Abraham Toro flied out to right field, Carlos Narvaez with the infield then grounded a single through the right side to bring in Anthony and make it 2-0. The Reds' 1 run was in the 3rd inning, a leadoff single by Will Benson, then an infield hit by Christian Encarnacion Strand got him to second base. Terry Francona had T.J. Friedel's sacrifice bunt, and the 2 runners moved into scoring position. Benson was already in scoring position, and he scored on a ground out by Matt McLean. The Red Sox did not score in the bottom of the 3rd. Then the rains came, and they timed that very well, because it wasn't very long after the tarp was put on the field that it started raining very hard. And it was kind of strange, because the earlier forecasts were for it just to perhaps rain for an hour or so and then taper off. And then as the rain continued, and looking at the radar, it was obvious that there was more of a storm system than they had anticipated.
Yeah, they kind of, to your point, it felt like it was going to be one of those 45-minute delays, and then you get back to work. And at that point, you're probably not going to have your starting pitchers go back out there, which the Reds had used so many bullpen arms over the previous days. That was the worst place they could be in. Now with the doubleheader, the advantage of adding that extra player.
Both teams do have an off day tomorrow. Both teams will travel after tonight's game. The Red Sox will fly to Washington, D.C., have the off day there tomorrow, and resume play with an 11 a.m. start on the 4th of July in our nation's capital. And the Cincinnati Reds head to Philadelphia after this one. Give you the Baldwin Group defensive alignment look who's protecting this afternoon starter Brian Bayo, brought to you by the Baldwin Group. It is Jarren Duran in left, Cedon Rafael in center, and Wilyer Abreu in right. Marcelo Meyer is at third base. Trevor Story at short. David Hamilton, the second baseman. Abraham Toro is at first, and Carlos Narvaez is behind the plate. The Cincinnati Reds Herb Chambers batting order for the top of the 4th inning is Austin Hayes, the cleanup hitter and DH, starting the 4th, followed by Gavin Lux, who's the number 5 hitter in left field, and Spencer Steer is the first baseman. That Herb Chambers batting order sponsored by Herb Chambers Chevrolet of Danvers. The umpires remain where they were at the stoppage in play last night. John Bacon has the plate. Edwin Jimenez actually jumps in for Brian O'Nora. Mike Estabrook is the second base umpire, and Laz Diaz is the crew chief. And third base umpire, O'Nora will likely return for the night game, I'm guessing, now that we have, in essence, a doubleheader. So they pick up right where they left off last night, and it's Brian Bayo on the mound for the Red Sox, making his 14th start. He's 3-3 with a 3.41 ERA, 71 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 32 earned runs, has walked 32, struck out 52. The opponent's hitting .260 against him. He is ready to go, and Austin Hayes steps in. Red Sox in their white uniforms. Cincinnati's changed it up. They have red tops tonight after all grays last night. Bayo's first pitch is hit on the ground to third. Gobbled up by Meyer. Low throw and a good scoop on a hop by Toro on the back end.
A nice play by Meyer here. Easy, kind of just one of those in-between routine bouncers to him. Low throw, but Abraham Toro, like we've seen over the last 3 or 4 games, made a really nice play to go down and scoop that out of the dirt.
Play resumes at 2:32. And the first pitch of the night game is scheduled for 7:10. Here's Gavin Lux, the left fielder, left-handed hitter. Bayo fires, and it's a fastball taken for a strike. Lux came over in a trade from the Dodgers in January. He lined to left in his only at bat last night against Richard Fitz. Backdoor breaking ball for a strike, a cutter from Brian Bayo.
So I think in a perfect world, Bayo goes 5 solid innings, offense scores some runs, and if you need to, you can turn the ball over to Chapman, who's only thrown once over the last week.
Bayo looks in for the sign and fires, and it's a fastball, and on the feet of Lux has him skipping out of the way. 85 degrees, really no breeze. And cloud cover here at Fenway, mostly cloudy skies. The lights are on. And the 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball in on the feet of Lux, taken for ball 2. Nesson still using the old style graphics as a nod toward 1975, 50th anniversary of the World Series between these two franchises. Fastball up and away. Narvaez tried to frame it, didn't get the call, and it's a full count.
Yeah, this has been the issue with Bayo and a couple other guys in this rotation, getting to 2 strikes and not being able to put guys away. The miss is just too big with 2 strikes, not enticing any swings.
Here's the payoff pitch, and it's ball 4 way inside, a sinker that had Lux skipping out of the way again. So a 1-out walk. The Reds have the tying run aboard. And the batter is Spencer Steer, right-handed hitter. He's their first baseman, fly to right against Fitz in the 2nd inning last night. And the pitch is under his arms and taken for a ball. Lux not much of a threat to run, just 1 stolen base in his only attempt. The big hole on the right side of the infield as Toro holds the runner. Swing and a high fly ball down the left field line and pretty well hit. Duran looking up, and that ball's gone. Into the first row of the monster seats. Wasn't a towering blast, just a high fly ball. Really a Fenway home run. It just barely cleared the left field wall between the foul pole and the first light tower. It's a 2-run homer for Spencer Steer. And Cincinnati takes the lead for the first time in this game. It's 3-2.
That was a cutter from Bayo. Pitch has been really good for him since he's added it over his last couple starts. That one, though, he left right down Main Street.
10 homers for Steer, 35 runs batted in. Bayo throws strike 1 called to Jose Trevino, a sinker on the outside corner.
Steer stays hot. He had 4 homers last week. He was NL Player of the Week after that,
including 3 in 1 game. The 1-strike pitch is a chopper foul over by the Reds dugout. On the third base side, Cincinnati managed by Terry Francona. Twice a world champion in 8 years as the skipper of the Red Sox. Only Joe Cronin managed more games for Boston than Francona's 1,296. And Alex Cora is now 4th on that list with Pinky Higgins in between. The 2-strike pitch is lined foul into the roof boxes on the first base side. Enhanced odds if you're a fan to get a souvenir baseball here today with limited competition. Bayo looks in for the 0-2. Here it is. Swing and a miss. And a sweeper away. Trevino strikes out. He lined to center last night in the 2nd inning against Richard Fitz.
A good sweeper right there from Bayo. That was much better once getting to 0-2. Not throwing something a foot off the plate, but rather something that starts over the plate, then moves just off for the swing and the miss.
So 2 runs in for Cincinnati on the home run by Steer. They lead 3-2 here in the fourth, and ball one is up and away to Will Benson, the right fielder. He singled and scored their one run last night in the third inning, leadoff single. He swings and chops one foul by the Red Sox on deck circle.
Yeah, this cutter that Bayo's been using a lot against lefties has been really good for him lately. That was obviously to steer against the righty. He left that one over the middle of the plate, but it's been effective against left-handed batters.
1-1 pitch is way outside with a changeup. Sun trying to peek out from behind the clouds now. The sky brightening just a little bit. I think the players and fans would appreciate the cloud cover remaining. 85 degrees at game time. Hit hard on a hop and a nice stop by Hamilton. The second baseman throws him out. It was a one-hop smash, and David played it well, and that ends the inning. But the Reds get two on the home run by Steer off Bayo in the middle of the fourth inning at Fenway Park. 3-2 Cincinnati on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint project, saving is at the top of your list. That's why when you shop today, you can buy one, get one free select Valspar and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams one-coat coverage interior paints via rebate. Shop these deals in-store or online today at Lowe's. We help, you save. Rebate in form of Visa gift card equal to 100% off the second eligible item purchased before or after applicable discounts, if any. See details. Offer ends 7/9.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale is going on now with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Get away with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
I'm Jordan Robinson, host of the new podcast, The Women's Hoop Show. Each episode, I'll be joined by a rotating group of women's basketball experts to talk WNBA, college hoops, the new Unrivaled League, and the shifting landscape of the sport. The game is growing, and so are we. Listen to and follow The Women's Hoop Show and Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi. He's pitched just 2 innings for the Reds this year. Veteran who's been around. He misses way outside. It goes past the catcher, Trevino, and all the way to the backstop. He's facing Trevor Story. Story, Marcelo Meyer, and David Hamilton, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Red Sox here in the fourth in their Herb Chambers batting order. Brady Singer started, pitched the 3 innings last night. Ground ball in the hole on the left side, backhanded by Ellie De La Cruz on the outfield grass, and a strong throw to get him. What an athlete he is. Ranged into the hole, was on the outfield grass, and threw a seed to first base for the out.
He's 6'5", and he moves over in the 6 hole like he's 5'11", the way he stays low to the ground, and then an absolute cannon. One of the best arms in all of the game.
That bell indicates that the fourth inning is brought to us by Boston's premier retirement planning specialist and the team at Hackman Wealth Partners, 4 offices around Boston. Hackmann. Marcelo Meyer takes a sweeper, soft one at 81 miles an hour from Maul for strike 1.
I was curious if Alex Cora would try to bring in some righties against Maul. He has had some success against lefties.
He hits the inside corner, taken for a strike, another sweeper. I'd imagine Alex's idea with that in mind is that Maul's probably not going to be out there for very long.
Exactly. So he's generally not going to cover more than just probably an inning or 2.
Swing and a miss by Meyer on a sweeper away. That wasn't close. Ace fan twice. He was called out on strikes to end the first inning against Singer last night. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, providing first aid at Fenway Park, supporting Red Sox scholars. Learn more at bidmc.org. David Hamilton takes a sinker inside. Ball not a hard thrower. That one was 92 miles per hour. Hamilton grounded out last night. He's 0 for 1. Hitting 177 now. Takes the sweeper away. Ball steps off the back of the mound. Rub up the baseball for a moment. The 2-0 pitch is taken for a strike. Ball was just recalled yesterday from AAA Louisville. This is his second stint of the season with the Reds. Hasn't been up since April 10th. The lefty fires, and it's a fastball taken at the knees for a strike. 2-2 on Hamilton. 2 outs. The base is empty. Bottom of the fourth. And Cincinnati leading 3-2. The hits are even at 3 apiece. Neither side's made an error. Ball's pitch is hit high and deep down the right field line toward the pesky pole. And it is just foul with just about enough distance to reach the pole. Almost another short home run in this game. The Spencer Steer home run in the top of this inning that gave the Reds the lead traveled just 350 feet. Barely made it over the wall down the left field line. Would have been a home run in only 12 of the 30 major league ballparks.
Yeah, Hamilton got out in front of that sweeper. That's that pitch that's so tough. It's why lefties hit about 150 against Maul.
The 2-2 pitch is a pop-up on the third base side, over by the line and caught in foul ground by Encarnacion Strand. And the Red Sox go in order against Sam Maul in the fourth. After 4, it's 3-2 Cincinnati on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this track to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint project, saving is at the top of your list. That's why when you shop today, you can buy one, get one free select Valspar and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams one-coat coverage interior paints via rebate. Shop these deals in-store or online today at Lowe's. We help, you save. Rebate in form of Visa gift card equal to 100% off the second eligible item purchased before or after applicable discounts, if any. See details. Offer ends 7/9.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale is going on now with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Get away with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
The Greg Hill Show, weekdays, 5:30 to 10.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
On to the 5th inning. The resumption of the game suspended last night after 3 innings. Christian Encarnacion Strand fouled one off his foot and takes a little walk around the home plate area. The 4th inning was brought to us by Cars for Kids. The easiest way to get rid of your old car, donate today. Your car can be picked up tomorrow. Donate now at carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K. Encarnacion Strand still a little uncomfortable. He fouled that off his front foot, his left foot. He's still flexing his toes and now getting back into the batter's box. He singled, got an infield hit last night in the 3rd against Fitz. He hits a 2-hopper on the left side, cut off by Meyer, and Marcelo throws him out. One out for Brian Bayo here in the 5th inning.
You know, Sean, I think we forget that Marcelo Meyer is not a third baseman. He's never been a third baseman until this year, because that was a need for this team with Alex Bregman down. But, man, has he made that transition so smoothly. He looks so good over there. Soft hands, good feet.
T.J. Friedel, the hitter, the top of the order back around for Cincinnati. Yeah, Meyer's just such a good-looking athlete. You got the feeling he'd play just about anywhere and handle it.
Yep, absolutely.
It's one of those who's volunteered to play first base if need be. Friedel takes a breaking ball for a strike. He walked leading off the game last night and then executed that sacrifice bunt in the 3rd inning that helped set up the Reds' first run. Cincinnati now on top 3-2 on a 2-run homer last inning by Spencer Steer. A pop-up in shallow left center. Duran steps in front of Rafaela and makes the catch. Put out for the left fielder Jarren Duran, and 2 quick outs here in the 5th inning. For Cincinnati, the Red Sox code word of the game is rain delay. That seems appropriate. Make sure to enter your code word in the member portal today to claim your points.
Thought it might be humid.
That would also be
sticky.
Appropriate. It rained hard last night, but it really didn't dry out the air very much. And again, mostly cloudy skies, but the sun trying to emerge. It's getting a little bit brighter. Matt McLean, a right-handed hitter, takes a strike on a cutter. He has twice grounded out to the 3rd baseman, once to pick up an RBI when he drove in the first run last night for them. Swing and a foul tip on a pitch up and in. And an 0-2 count. Red Sox 42-44 for the season, 6.5 games behind the New York Yankees, and currently in 4th place in the East. Yankees are at Toronto today. Chopper back to the mound off the glove of Bayo, charged by Hamilton. He throws and got him. Nice play by David Hamilton. Had to field it barehanded and throw on the move, and he did it to perfection. And the Reds go in order in the 5th. Halfway through the ball game, Cincinnati 3, Boston 2. On the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Lowe's knows how to help you save. This July 4th, get up to 40% off select Maytag laundry appliances. Plus, get an additional 10% off when you buy 2 or 3 select major appliances. And when you buy 4 or more, you'll save an additional 20%. Find the right appliances and features that fit your home's unique needs and style. Shop Maytag 4th of July deals at Lowe's. Valid through 7/9. See Lowe's.com for details. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Selection varies by location.
The South Coast Health Heart and Vascular Program is nationally recognized year after year for providing world-class care. Our heart and vascular team goes above and beyond to deliver the best clinical care and most compassionate service. You receive the time, attention, and communication you need to feel most comfortable, because at South Coast Health, you are what matters most. We are South Coast Health Heart and Vascular. Visit southcoast.org/heart to learn more.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Hey there, I'm Kendra Adachi, and my show, The Lazy Genius Podcast, helps you be a genius about the things that matter and lazy about the things that don't, and you get to decide what matters. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to give you a new way to see. Episodes of the Lazy Genius Podcast are full of compassionate time management tips and permission slips to do what makes sense for you. New episodes drop every Monday. Follow and listen to the Lazy Genius Podcast on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Want to listen to WEEI on the go? Just download the Odyssey app. Now, back to Red Sox baseball on WEEI.
And welcome back to Fenway Park as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The resumption of last night's game suspended after 3 innings. Red Sox led then 2-1, but Cincinnati has a home run today from Spencer Steer to make it 3-2. And Sam Maul just threw strike one to the outside corner to Cedon Rafaela. Red Sox number 9 hitter. Fly to center last night in his first at bat. He hits one off the end of the bat foul back toward Jarren Duran in the on-deck circle. Jarren will hit next in the Herb Chambers batting order, and then Roman Anthony against Maul, who came into the game to start last inning at the resumption of play. He's a journeyman, a lot of time in the minor leagues. 33-year-old lefty misses outside. A lot of time in the minors, including some time this year and last year with their AAA club in Louisville. He's also pitched the major league level for Oakland. Chopper foul. I guess that now would be the artists formerly known as Oakland.
Oaklamento.
Yes. We're not allowed to call them Sacramento. That's where they're playing, so we're just going to call them Sacramento. Apparently they're just supposed to be referenced as the Athletics.
Just the A's, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Sure.
Pitch down and into Cedon, hitting .253. 2 balls and 2 strikes. They do have a right-hander, Scott Barlow, warming up in their bullpen. The lefty Maul comes set and delivers, and he turned it over and missed outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Maul, when he came to training camp, his velocity was down. They thought he might be hurt, but apparently he wasn't. The pitch, there's an excellent changeup, and Rafaela swings and misses for strike 3.
Yeah, you've pointed to the fact that the Maul doesn't have a lot of velocity. He relies on deception and movement and moving it around the plate. And there, even against a hot hitter in Cedon Rafaela, able to get him off balance out in front of that breaking ball, that sweeper. And that was middle of the plate. Had him that far out front of it.
He has retired all 4 men. He's faced 2 of them via the strikeout. He's pitching now to Jarren Duran, who takes a fastball for a strike. Jarren doubled, leading off the Red Sox first last night, and scored the first run of the game. He was called out on strikes in the second, both of those against Brady Singer. Check swing and a chopper foul over by the Cincinnati dugout. Red Sox baseball is brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Hurry in for your last chance to get employee pricing for all during the Great American Sales Event. Set by Maul, spelled M-O-L-L. And a swing and a miss. That good sweeper again. Duran strikes out. Let's pause for station identification on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
From the WEEI studios, 93.7 WEEI FM and HD1, Lawrence, Boston. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
3-2 Cincinnati. We're in the 5th. And a breaking ball dropped in for a strike to Roman Anthony. He doubled to drive in a run in the first inning last night, grounded out in the 3rd. He's the DH. Swing and a miss. Interesting to hear Alex Cora's comments about Anthony. At this stage in his career, they really would like him to play somewhat regularly, at the very least, in the outfield. But hard to crack into the outfield. Wilyer Abreu in right field's a Gold Glove winner. Alex said Rafaela, he believes, is the best center fielder in baseball. And left field for now at least belongs to Jarren Duran. The 0-2 pitch is low.
Yeah, I would say against right-handed pitching, he'll likely DH because of the 2 left-handed hitting outfielders in Abreu and Duran. But against lefties, he might play some outfield with Abreu sitting the bench on those.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Another off-speed sweeper. Maul strikes out the side and has retired all 6 men he has faced in the 2 innings since this game resumed. After 5 at Fenway Park, the Reds 3, the Red Sox 2 on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale is going on now with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Get away with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Some people follow the rules, I break them. I'm Soraya, and on Rule Breakers, we talk to the rebels who do things their way. Listen to Rule Breakers with Soraya on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Jones and Keefe.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
It's the top of the 6th inning. Cincinnati batting with a 3-2 lead. Ellie De La Cruz, the leadoff hitter against Brian Bayo. Swings and misses. Does De La Cruz at a pitch down and in. He's the number 3 hitter in their batting order. 0 for 2 last night and 0 for 2 in this game. Leading off in their Herb Chambers batting order, brought to us by Herb Chambers Mini of Boston. 1-1 from Bayo. Swing and a miss at a pitch away. De La Cruz, Austin Hayes, and Gavin Lux due up. Brian Bayo looks in as De La Cruz steps out. Red Sox shifted around to the right in the infield. Meyer playing where the shortstop ordinarily would be. Foul ball out of play to the left.
Really have to be careful against De La Cruz, especially when he is on this side of the plate, batting lefty, facing a right-handed pitcher. He had a 930 OPS against right-handed pitching, has just been mashing.
277 is average for the year. 18 homers, 57 runs batted in. He takes the ball up and away. Bullpen report brought to you by Interlock Metal Roofing. Never re-roof again. New England metalroofing.com. And it's Brian Bayo surprisingly out of the bullpen to start the resumption of play. A one hopper down to first. A big high hop for Toro, who makes the play himself. So with that development, Bayo was supposed to start the regularly scheduled night game tonight. There is a question that Alex Cora was not ready to answer before the resumption of play today about who the starting pitcher will be for the Red Sox in Game 2.
Yeah, well, Cooper Criswell's here, right? He's going to be the 27th man. They could go to an opener and then to Criswell is what I'm guessing will happen.
Austin Hayes takes ball 1 up and in. The rationale for Alex Cora was you can't have that 27th man available until the second game of the doubleheader.
Right.
So you'll have an extra arm tonight. Bayo obviously ready to go today anyway on his regular day of rest. He threw strike 1 here to Hayes. Hayes is struck out and grounded out. He was the first batter to face Bayo today upon the resumption of play. Bouncer to short. Story fielded it on the move to his left and threw on the run to get Hayes. And there are 2 quick outs here in the Reds' 6th.
So this is when Brian Bayo is at his best. He's not chasing strikeouts. He's chasing early count, weak contact, and he can be a ground ball monster with that downward movement on both the changeup and the 2-seamer and the added cutter. So needs to stay right there.
He's retired 7 in a row now since the home run by Steer that gave the Reds the lead in the top of the 4th inning. He threw strike 1 called to Gavin Lux. Lux walked in the 4th inning, and then Steer followed with the home run. Steer's on deck.
Bayo has gone at least 6 innings in his last 5 starts in a row, but that today would get him to the end of the game.
And you'd have everybody else ready to go if he could do that again for game 2. Lux a foul ball back to the backstop.
If the offense can score, perfect. And the pitch count is what it is. You leave them in, that's great. If it's a close game, a tie game, or you're winning by a small margin, the ability to turn the ball over to Aroldis Chapman, considering how little he's pitched lately.
He's had a terrific year. Alex Cora said he should be an all-star. The 0-2 pitch is in on the feet of Lux and taken for ball 1. Bayo's thrown 37 pitches over 2 2/3 innings. The pitch, fisted foul out of play to the left. He's retired those 7 in a row, and 5 of those 7 via the ground ball. And as Will said, that's a good sign. Bayo throws strike 3 call, the fastball in the inside corner about belt high. Lux not sure about the call. It's a strikeout for Brian Bayo, his 2nd in 3 innings of work. We're heading to the bottom of the 6th at Fenway Park. The Reds leading the Red Sox 3-2 on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
You chose to hit play on this track list today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called AutoQuote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this track at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Lowe's knows you don't want to sacrifice reliability for savings. This July 4th, get up to 40% off select LG appliances and purchase 2 or 3 select major appliances to get an additional 10% off. Save big on LG, America's most reliable line of home appliances at Lowe's. Based on independent reliability surveys 2021 to 2024 and select major appliances as compared to competing manufacturers offering full appliance lines. See associate for more details. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Exclusions apply. Valid 6/18 through 7/9.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale is going on now with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Get away with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
College holds a mythic place in American culture. On the new Campus Files podcast, we uncover the scandals you won't hear on the campus tours. Find Campus Files on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to live play-by-play action of the Boston Red Sox on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
New pitcher for Cincinnati as the Red Sox come up in the 6th. It's the right-hander Scott Barlow, greeted by Abraham Toro, leading off the Red Sox Herb Chambers batting order. Breaking ball from Barlow for strike 1 to Toro, who has flied out to right field twice. That was last night against Brady Singer. Barlow slings one up there and throws a backdoor curveball, slow one at 77 miles an hour for a strike. So Sam Maul pitched 2 innings of perfect relief, retired all 6 men he faced for the Reds. 4 of them via the strikeout. A pop-up, shallow center. De La Cruz racing out, and he drops the ball off his glove, and it falls to the grass in shallow center. And in a second is Toro. We say drop the ball, but it was a very tough play. At his back to the infield, he was sprinting as hard as he could. It would have been an over-the-shoulder catch. He got a glove on it, but it came out and fell to the ground, and Abraham Toro has a double.
Well, if Ellie De La Cruz can't get to this and glove it, I don't think there's any shortstop, maybe other than Bobby Witt Jr., that can get to that. But great job by Toro getting out of the box hard, getting to second base on that.
He almost might have been better served getting out of the way for T.J. Friedel, the center fielder, who looked like he might have been able to run in and catch it. Or he's not concerned about running into De La Cruz.
Hey, you look up and see 6'5", 215 right down the barrel, and you know what? I'm going to check up and get out. You can have it, big guy.
He's such a terrific athlete. You really expected him to make the play, even though it would have been a great play. Narvaez took ball one inside. Carlos has already driven in a run in this game with a single in the first inning last night. He takes a breaking ball for a strike. Barlow in for the 40th time, all in relief. 3-0 out of the bullpen with a 4.25 ERA. Tall right-hander wears the number 58. Foul tip on a fastball on the inside part of the plate. 1-2 now on Narvaez. To be followed by Wilyer Abreu in the Red Sox Herb Chambers batting order. Narvaez steps out. The outfield is around toward right for the right-handed hitting Red Sox catcher. Red Sox now out hitting the Reds 4-3, but Cincinnati leads 3-2 in the sixth. Pitch is inside, goes to the backstop, and on to third base goes Toro as it got past the catcher Trevino and all the way to the backstop at an inside fastball.
You got to expect Terry Francona to bring the infield in here with the tying run on third base here in bottom of the sixth inning, and no outs.
So the tying run at third, the infield is in. Outfield still tilted around to the opposite field for Narvaez. Barlow's pitch hit in the air, shallow left center. Gavin Lux makes the catch. The runner tags. Toro's coming to the plate, and he will score standing up as the throw was about 10 feet up the third baseline. They're going to appeal at third, hoping that Toro left early. He did not. So the run counts. It's another RBI for Narvaez, his second of the game and 28th of the year, and we're tied at 3.
So this was a tremendous job by third base coach Kyle Hudson. He saw this was a shallow ball. Toro initially was going to be a little bit off the bag to make sure he could score if it dropped. Kyle Hudson had him come back because he noticed Gavin Lux calling for this ball, running towards center field, his momentum going that way, not able to make a strong throw home.
Hard hit ball by Abreu, and a base hit through the right side of the infield, landed near the edge of the outfield grass. So Wilyer Abreu is aboard for the second time. He walked in the first inning last night and struck out in the third. So he's aboard with one out for Trevor Story, who grounded to short, leading off the Red Sox fourth after he struck out last night in the first. Barlow works off the third base end of the rubber, throws a breaking ball low. Want to win free groceries for a year and prizes like $500 in Shaw's gift cards, or your child is an honorary bat kid? Enter the Shaw's and Star Market Grand Slam Summer Sweepstakes. Spend $50, get your code, and enter. Official rules at GrandSlamSummerSweeps.com. 1-0 pitch is a breaking ball outside. Abreu being held at first base by Steer. And a huge hole on the right side of the infield. The second baseman, McLean, is almost behind the second base bag. Big open stance for the right-handed swinging Story. It's a line drive to third. It's caught. Throw to first, not in time to double up Abreu. It was hit right at the third baseman, Christian Encarnacion Strand. Now that's the second out of the sixth inning with the ball game tied at 3. Here's Marcelo Meyer, 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. One last night against Brady Singer, the other this afternoon against Sam Maul. Now facing Barlow, third different pitcher, and 3 plate appearances for Meyer in this game.
I think all the lefties in this Red Sox lineup excited to see Maul leave this game. That sweeper was devastating.
The pitch is a swing and a foul ball out of play to the left. 1-1 on Meyer, hitting .214 in his rookie season. 4 homers and 7 runs batted in. He plays in his 29th major league game. The pitch off speed and a pop foul back to our left. Barlow's pitched very well. He's allowed 21 hits only through his first 39 games as a member of the Reds. Fourth fewest by any Cincinnati pitcher in that span in the live ball era, which goes back to 1920. His 1-2 pitch with the runner going. It's a ball down and in, and Trevino couldn't make a throw as he lost possession of the ball. It fell to his feet. Wilyer Abreu has a stolen base, his 5th of the year.
Yeah, Barlow, a good guy to run on. He throws at a lot of off speed. He mixes the sweeper, the slider, the curveball. Does mix in the fastball, but that's what makes him tough. Such an even spread of anything in any count.
The go-ahead run in scoring position now. The 2-2 pitch is a foul ball back to the screen. Again, with so few people here, and the park has welcomed a few more patrons since the resumption of play at 2:32, but still less than half full Fenway Park. Can actually hear the other broadcasters along our level of the press box behind home plate at chopper foul, which is highly unusual. So I'm listening intently in case we hear something good from.
Well, I made sure to shush them last in the bottom of the 5th because they were speaking over you.
That is rude. Don't see the Reds broadcasters very often. Good bunch of guys. Off the end of the bat, a little looping line drive caught by Encarnacion Strand in fair territory near the third base line. And that ends the inning, but the Red Sox tie it, and after 6, it's a 3-3 game on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Your burger is served, and this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. Its sweet profile perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger.
That is one perfect combination. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
The South Coast Health Heart and Vascular Program is nationally recognized year after year for providing world-class care. Our heart and vascular team goes above and beyond to deliver the best clinical care and most compassionate service. You receive the time, attention, and communication you need to feel most comfortable, because at South Coast Health, you are what matters most. We are South Coast Health Heart and Vascular. Visit southcoast.org/heart to learn more.
Lowe's knows Laundry Day could use a little more convenience. That's why we have the GE Profile Ultra Fast Washer and Dryer Combo that washes and dries a large load of laundry in about 2 hours without the hassle of transferring clothes from the washer to the dryer. Shop GE Profile this July 4th at Lowe's. Based on completing normal wash and dry cycle with Eco-Dry using a 10-pound load in about 2 hours. See associate for more details. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, exclusions apply.
Art, Fitzy, and Johnson.
Weekdays 2 to 6.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
First pitch of the 7th inning from Brian Bayo's taken high for a ball by Spencer Steer, who has the biggest hit of this game, a 2-run homer off Bayo in the 4th that put Cincinnati ahead 3-2. Red Sox just tied it in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch down and in has the right-handed swinging Steer skipping out of the way. He's the leadoff hitter in the Reds' Herb Chambers batting order. Sponsored by Herb Chambers pre-owned cars and trucks. Bayo came in to begin the resumption of play for the Red Sox in the top of the 4th. He's pitched 3 innings, gave up that 2-run homer to Steer and hasn't allowed a base runner since. Steer, Trevino, and Benson do. It's a strike taken on the outside corner, a sweeper, 2-1. 110th pitch was brought to us by 110 Grill, gluten-free dining done right. 2-1 pitch is a strike. 110 Grill, proud to be an official partner of the WEEI Red Sox radio network. 43 pitches for Bayo as he begins his fourth inning of activity. Regularly scheduled game as scheduled tonight with the first pitch at 7:10. Long look in from Bayo, and now he fires a fastball well outside at 96 miles per hour. We'll check the Subaru of New England scoreboard as we go along here in the 7th. Bunch of double headers around baseball today, made necessary by the postponements last night. Pitch in on the hands, and that hit him. Might have hit him on the hand. Steer walking back toward the dugout, but that's just because he's in a little bit of pain. He's trying to walk it off. A hit by pitch to start the inning. Terry Francona, along with the Reds trainer, coming out to take a look.
Yeah, that got him in a really bad spot. That exact spot on my hand where it meets your wrist, I took one off of that 98 off the hand in that exact spot in Cleveland in 2012. It ended my rookie season. Broke a couple bones right there in your hands. You see his hands, Sean, as he's moving forward towards the ball. It almost like he punches it, right? It adds a little more force to that spot as he's moving towards the ball.
It's his right hand and wrist. They're having him flex his fingers, and he's going to stay in the game and run down to first.
He had a little more milk growing up than I did.
Yeah, that has to hurt. You did not overlap with Terry Francona, correct?
I did not. His last year was 2011, and I came up in May of 12. I had Bobby Valentine my rookie year. Any questions?
No. There was ample opportunity to ask more questions.
I will say I had blinders on. I was 23, and I was in survival mode surrounded by guys with 10-plus years in the show. So I was just trying to stay.
Lead man on for the Reds in a 3-3 game in the 7th. But that had to be an interesting way to break in with all of the drama
it sure was.
Surrounding the Bobby Valentine. Well, the era is too strong a word. It wasn't really a very long stint.
It was odd, right? I come up. It's, like I said, a very veteran-oriented team with, Big Papi and Pedroia, Ellsbury, Adrian Gonzalez, Carl Crawford, all these guys that were gone halfway through the season once we shipped them all out when everything fell apart.
1-1 pitch to Trevino is taken for a strike, a sinker.
But it was a learning experience, right? And sometimes that happens in the big leagues. It's not always rainbows and butterflies and perfect in the show. Sometimes there's issues.
Bayo's pitch swung on and missed. Good sinker. Looked like it was down and out of the strike zone. Trevino strikes out for the first out of the 7th inning. We'll give you a glimpse at the Subaru of New England scoreboard. We said a lot of action this afternoon. Often day games on a getaway day anyway. Tigers lead the Nationals 11-2 now in Washington, D.C. The pitch is high, taken for a ball by Will Benson. In that game, Riley Green has 2 home runs and 6 runs batted in. Red Sox head to Washington for a series with the Nats after tonight's game. Off day tomorrow. That series will begin Friday. Breaking ball taken for a strike by Benson. He's their leadoff. Excuse me. He scored their first run last night. He's their number 8 hitter. Grounded out against Bayo in the 4th inning. The pitch from Bayo just outside with a fastball.
After that first inning pitch by Bayo, the command has been much better. Kind of living between the chalk line in the batter's box and the edge of the plate.
Chopper right at the third baseman Meyer. He goes to Story, the shortstop, and on to first for a 5-6-3 double play. Taylor made double play ball, and the Red Sox took advantage of it. 7th inning stretch here at Fenway Park. The Reds and Red Sox tied at 3 on the Shaws and Star Market. WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Your burger is served, and this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. Its sweet profile perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger.
That is one perfect combination. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So, what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint project, saving is at the top of your list. That's why when you shop today, you can buy one, get one free select Valspar and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams one-coat coverage interior paints via rebate. Shop these deals in-store or online today at Lowe's. We help, you save. Rebate in form of Visa gift card equal to 100% off the second eligible item purchased before or after applicable discounts, if any. See details. Offer ends 7/9.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale is going on now with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Getaway with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
More Boston sports opinion, more often. Just download the Odyssey app. Now, back to Red Sox baseball on WEEI.
It's the bottom of the 7th inning in a 3-3 tie. Lyon Richardson is the new pitcher for Cincinnati. Right-hander making his 23rd appearance. He threw ball one back to the backstop as David Hamilton turned as if to bunt. Hamilton leading off in the Herb Chambers batting order, followed by Rafael, and on the top of the order, Duran. Richardson's pitch is a strike. The changeup. Third baseman Encarnacion Strand well in on the grass at third. Shortstop's way up the middle. De La Cruz outfield straight away. There's a line drive right at De La Cruz, who makes the catch. He was in the perfect spot. Hamilton's 0 for 3. Elsewhere on the Subaru of New England scoreboard, the Pittsburgh Pirates shut out St. Louis 5-0. Mitch Keller combined with 2 relievers on a 6-hit shutout. He gave up 5 hits and struck out 7. Go to 3-10 on the year. Rafaela, the batter, check swing on a pitch inside. It's a strike on the appeal down to first base umpire Edwin Jimenez. Rafaela has flied to center last night, struck out against Sam Maul this afternoon. Brady Singer pitched the 3 innings last night. Then today it's been Sam Maul for 2, Barlow for 1. He gave up the game-tying run. And now Lyon Richardson, who fires a fastball low for a ball. Richardson from Jensen Beach, Florida, 6'2", 207 pounds, 25 years old. Their second-round pick back in 2018. He missed just outside with a changeup, 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, that changeup is his go-to pitch. He throws it just about half the time, along with a fastball and a breaking ball.
One of many who's come back from Tommy John surgery. 2 hopper to short. De La Cruz had to backpedal for a moment. He throws in time to get Rafaela by a step. 2 outs in the Red Sox 7th. The game tied at 3. The regularly scheduled game coming up at 7:10 first pitch. This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of the Boston Red Sox and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of WEEI and the Red Sox. Jarren Duran takes ball 1 down and in. He has doubled and scored back in the first inning last night and has struck out twice since. Hitting .253 now. Swing and a foul out of play to the left.
Yeah, this is a guy this team needs to get going. He's hitting 188 over his last 23. And so many times, so often we say this is the engine of the offense. When he's on base, they tend to score a lot of runs. He's got to find his way, but it's hard to steal first.
His numbers, his performance way down from that outstanding season of last year. He fouled one past first. And he's behind in the count 1-2. 3 runs, 3 hits for Cincinnati. 3 runs, 5 hits for Boston. And neither team's made an error as they play in the 7th inning. Richardson comes set at the belt and throws strike 3 called outside corner at the knees. And the right-hander works an easy 1-2-3 7th inning. After 7, Reds 3, Red Sox 3 on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Lowe's knows you don't want to sacrifice reliability for savings. This July 4th, get up to 40% off select LG appliances and purchase 2 or 3 select major appliances to get an additional 10% off. Save big on LG, America's most reliable line of home appliances at Lowe's. Based on independent reliability surveys 2021 to 2024 and select major appliances as compared to competing manufacturers offering full appliance lines. See associate for more details. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Exclusions apply. Valid 6/18 through 7/9.
Your burger is served, and this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. Its sweet profile perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger.
That is one perfect combination. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
You want to deliver the best retail experiences, but it's hard, especially with multiple stores, staff, fulfillment centers, GMVs, KPIs, OKRs, and the only thing harder is being in charge of it all. But when you switch to Shopify Point of Sale, you can unify retail operations and guarantee smooth shopping across every location. Shopify POS, the best retail experiences without complexity. Visit shopify.com/without complexity to learn more.
The Christian Arcand Show, weekday afternoons starting at 6. Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
On to the 8th inning here at Fenway Park. Sean McDonough with Will Middlebrooks. Delighted to have you with us. Resumption of the game suspended last night after 3 innings. It was 2-1 then, Red Sox. Now it's 3-3, and Brian Bayo missed apparently just high with ball 1 to Christian Encarnacion Strand. Leadoff hitter in their Herb Chambers batting order, brought to us by Herb Chambers Sprinter Vans of Somerville and Peabody. Encarnacion takes a strike, former Minnesota Twin. Came over in 2022 in the deal that sent the right-handed pitcher Tyler Mahle to Minnesota. 1-1 pitch is a fastball taken for a strike. Bayo's pitched well, gave up the 2-run homer in his first inning of work, the 4th inning of this game, and has allowed only 1 base runner since. That was the hit by pitch last inning. It's up to 56 pitches. Number 57 is low with a changeup. Encarnacion Strand, then the top of the order, T.J. Friedel and Matt McLean for Terry Francona's Cincinnati Reds. Swing and a foul ball. Terry said he thought he was done with managing after he retired from the Cleveland Guardians after the 2023 season. A lot of health problems, more than 40 surgeries he's had to endure. A couple of medical leaves while he was with Cleveland. Little pop-up right side of the infield. The second baseman Hamilton calls off Toro and makes the catch. But feeling better, he took advantage of the opportunity presented to him by the Reds, the team they feel is up and coming. 3 games over 500 as they play this one.
He's one of those guys that he needs to be around the game. He's one of those lifers who grew up around it, and he's better off just being in a dugout in some capacity.
Backdoor cutter for strike one called. Friedel didn't like the call, left-handed hitter. His 24th year for Francona as a major league manager. 4 in Philadelphia, 8 here with the Red Sox, including 744 wins and 2 World Series championships, 11 with Cleveland. And now after 1 year out of the game in his first year with the Reds at age 66. Fastball grazed Friedel just barely on the arm, apparently. John Bacon, the home plate umpire, looking toward the Red Sox dugout as if to say, do you want to question this? Because Friedel kind of sold the call. I mean, if it got him, it just, I don't know if that hit him at all. Looking at a replay, went past his batting glove.
Almost that protecting pad on top of his hand, but you couldn't really see anything move.
Well, that was bizarre. He was actually trying to ask for time before the pitch and wasn't granted time. Swinging a ground ball by Matt McLean to the shortstop, and the Red Sox turn 2. 6-4-3, another double play, and that takes care of that. Trevor Story's been involved in turning 51 double plays now this season, most among Major League Baseball shortstops. Red Sox getting ready to hit in the bottom of the 8th in a 3-3 tie with Cincinnati on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint project, saving is at the top of your list. That's why when you shop today, you can buy one, get one free select Valspar and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams one-coat coverage interior paints via rebate. Shop these deals in-store or online today at Lowe's. We help, you save. Rebate in form of Visa gift card equal to 100% off the second eligible item purchased before or after applicable discounts, if any. See details. Offer ends 7/9.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale is going on now with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Get away with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
The South Coast Health Heart and Vascular Program is nationally recognized year after year for providing world-class care. Our heart and vascular team goes above and beyond to deliver the best clinical care and most compassionate service. You receive the time, attention, and communication you need to feel most comfortable, because at South Coast Health, you are what matters most. We are South Coast Health Heart and Vascular. Visit southcoast.org/heart to learn more.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
We're right back to the Sox on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Roman Anthony begins the Red Sox 8th, trying to break this 3-3 tie with the Cincinnati Reds, as he leads off against Lyon Richardson in the Herb Chambers batting order. Takes the ball down and away. Anthony is doubled, grounded out, and struck out.
Well, the last thing you want in the first game of we'll call it a doubleheader, is extra innings.
Very well said. Hope we didn't talk it into existence. But yeah, I guess technically, is this a doubleheader?
I don't know. I mean, to us, it sure is.
They're playing a game plus today.
Yeah.
I don't know if officially that's what it's thought to be. Tried to check his swing at an off-speed pitch in the dirt and could not.
I guess it's not considered one since you can't activate Criswell till the second one. So since you're resuming this game, I guess not.
No, the resumption of last night, but most of it will be played on the same day as another game. With the first pitch at 7:10 here on WEEI and the Red Sox Radio Network. Richardson fires a 2-2 strike 3 call to fastball on the outside corner. So Lyon Richardson's retired all 4 he has faced. And the batter will be Abraham Toro, who scored the game-tying run in the 6th inning. Red Sox led 2-1 when they suspended play after 3 innings last night. Spencer Steer hit a 2-run homer in the top of the 4th this afternoon to put Cincinnati on top. And then Toro's run in the 6th tied it. He takes a breaking ball at his feet. Toro doubled on a pop fly in a shallow center field leading off the 6th inning. Moved to third base on a wild pitch and scored on a sac fly by Carlos Narvaez, who's on deck. The 1-0 pitch is down and in with a sinker. We don't know who'll be starting the second game of this perhaps doubleheader, perhaps not a doubleheader. Thingamajig.
Well, Brian Bayo just at 62 pitches right now, so that's helpful for the bullpen going forward also. No, Aroldis Chapman's down there moving around, tossing the ball around right now just in case they take a lead.
Pitch to Toro. He spins out of the way of a ball inside. 3 balls and 1 strike with Narvaez on deck. Toro switch hitter batting from the left side against Richardson. He takes the fastball over the outer third for strike 2, 3-2. Yankees are in action tonight at Toronto, trying to avoid being swept by the Jays, who are now just 1 game behind New York in the AL East. Line drive left center field, and it's in for a hit. Cut off by Gavin Lux before he could scoot through to the wall, but Toro has back-to-back hits. He's 2 for 4, and the Red Sox have the lead man on.
Yeah, it looks like Nate Eaton is going to come on to run for Toro. Much better speed with Eaton out there on the base pass, him being the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 8th.
They do not have the lead man on. They have the go-ahead run on, is what I meant to say, and it's Eaton pinch running for Toro now. It's another good day for Abraham. And Eaton, the pinch runner, will be held at first by Spencer Steer. And the batter is Narvaez, who's already driven in 2 runs in this game. An RBI single last night. He walked last night. He had a sacrifice fly this afternoon. He's knocked in 2 of the 3 Red Sox runs. He takes the ball down and away from Richardson. Nate Eaton, the major league level, has stolen 15 bases in 16 tries. And he draws the throw from Richardson. Terry Francona is going to sink or swim with this pitcher. There's no activity in the Cincinnati bullpen. Eaton is appearing in just his 9th game for the Red Sox, has 1 stolen base without being caught. He takes a ball outside, does Narvaez. Jose Flores, first base coach, comes closer to say something to Eaton. Looked across at Kyle Hudson, the third base coach. Outfield swung around to the opposite field toward the right. Eaton is running. The pitch is a ball. The throw is not in time. A stolen base for Eaton with a head-first slide to the outfield side of the bag. And he did get there just ahead of the tag from the second baseman, Matt McClain.
Jose Trevino had a great pitch to catch and throw on. He got rid of it quickly on the fastball, but he did throw it on the shortstop side of the bag, so that little bit of delay on the catch and then tagged by the infielder McClain was all the difference.
Eaton grabbed the bag on the outfield side, his bare hand on the slide, a strike taken on the outside corner. And a 3-1 count now on Narvaez, with Wilyer Abreu on deck. Red Sox trying to make it 2 in a row in the series over the Reds. The pitch, swing and a miss. Had a changeup down and away and off the plate. Narvaez couldn't lay off it.
Yeah, this is a pitcher in Richardson that he loves the changeup. He throws it a ton. So even in a 2-0 or 3-1 count, that's his go-to pitch. You cannot sell out to the fastball there.
Richardson pitched. Is hit to the second baseman McClain, who throws out Narvaez on a 2-hopper. And on to third now is Eaton. with 2 outs. It'll be up to Wilyer Abreu to get it in. Of course, he was the star of the victory for the Red Sox in the opener of this series with his inside the park solo homer and his grand slam. 5 runs batted in, a 13-6 Boston win here on Monday. He swings and misses at a changeup for strike 1.
Initially with this matchup, I would say, okay, they're going to pitch around him, even put him on to bring up the right-on-right matchup, but that changeup plays against left-handed batters from Richardson.
Little looping line drive. That's going to fall in right field for a hit. On to score Eaton, and the Red Sox take a 4-3 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. Didn't hit it hard. It looked and sounded like it was off the end of the bat. Just a little flare pulled into right field. But it fell in. Another big hit for Abreu. That was right off the end of the bat as we look at the Nesson replay.
And that was exactly it. That was the changeup. And even though it seemed like he was up there looking for that, caught it out front, broke his bat, but just dunked it in. That's all he needed.
Now he's at first and held on by Steer as Trevor Story took a fastball inside. And now Aroldis Chapman getting ready to come in and try to close it. Likely a save situation. Try to save it for Brian Bayo. Richardson, the pitcher of record, obviously for Cincinnati. He crowded Story with a fastball. Foul tipped into the mid of Trevino. And it's a ball and a strike. Abreu's already stolen a base this afternoon, his 5th of the year. That was back in the 6th inning. The ball way outside.
Don't you just love when things like that work out? You bring a guy in with speed, he steals the bag, finds his way to home plate, scoring there. And just so many times you make those moves, they don't end up working.
2-1 pitch hit high in the air, pretty well in center field. Back by the wall. It is off the top of the wall. It caroms over the head of the center fielder. Abreu around to score. And Story is out at second base after he rounded the bag, tried to jam the brakes on and slipped. And as he went back into second, they tagged him out, at least for the moment. But the run counts as Abreu had crossed the plate before Story was tagged out. The Red Sox get an insurance run on a double by Trevor Story. 7-6 for the play on Story at second base. Crowd looks at a replay and doesn't like the call. We head to the 9th. Boston leading now 5-3 on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Lowe's knows how to set off your July 4th with savings. Right now, buy one, get one free on select one-coat coverage interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Plus, get 2 select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for just $10. Hurry, these July 4th deals won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for more details.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale is going on now with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Get away with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
The Greg Hill Show, weekdays, 5:30 to 10.
Now back to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Sean McDonough, Will Middlebrooks. We're heading to the 9th inning. This game suspended after 3 innings last night, resumed at 2:32 this afternoon here in the hub of the universe. It's been a back and forth game. Red Sox led 2-1 when it was stopped after an 80-minute wait last night. After 3 innings, Cincinnati grabbed the lead on a Spencer Steer home run right after play resumed this afternoon. That came off Brian Bayo. Bayo did not allow another run. Red Sox have scored 3. 1 in the 6th, 2 more in the 8th. They lead 5-3. Here's Aroldis Chapman trying to save it. And he blows a fastball by De La Cruz. He's just getting warmed up. Aroldis, that was only 97 miles per hour. Romy Gonzalez in to play first base after they ran for Abraham Toro in the bottom of the 8th inning. De La Cruz leading off in their Herb Chambers batting order. Aroldis fires that one 100 miles an hour, swung on and missed by De La Cruz.
Do you consider him warm now, Sean?
Yes. Just took him 1 to get up.
Lukewarm. He gets up to 103.
The triple didge. Tall lefty off the third base end of the rubber. The pitch. He struck him out on a fastball. Swung on and missed. That one was 101.
Just power versus power. Now, De La Cruz has struggled this year against lefties. Here, as of late, been much better against left-handed pitching. But right there, it was just by you.
So 1 out in the 9th. They'll play the regularly scheduled game at the scheduled starting time of 7:10. Red Sox hoping they'll be going for a sweep of the series in that game. Austin Hayes hits a dribbler past the mound. Gobbled up by Trevor Story. On to Gonzalez. And the Red Sox are 1 out away from victory. Chapman's been terrific. As we said earlier, Alex Cora thinks he should be an all-star. He's not allowed an earned run in his previous 13 games. That goes back over a month, since May 28th. And in 13 innings over those previous 13 games, he's allowed just 3 hits and 2 walks with 22 strikeouts. That's an all-star indeed. Last outing, a perfect 9th inning Sunday against Toronto with 2 strikeouts. So the Reds down to their final out. Gavin Lux, the left-handed hitter, is in there. He swings and misses. Another one at 101 miles per hour. We said a sparse crowd here was the ticket holders from last night who had the tickets to this one, and many of them opted not to come back. But those who are here, many of them are on their feet. There's a slicing foul on a play to the left. And Chapman trying to make very quick work of the Reds, who are down to their final strike. Aroldis has thrown 6 pitches, all of them strikes. Brian Bayo went 5 innings, allowed just the 1 hit on the home run. Gave up 2 earned runs. The pitch up and in under the chin of Lux, who goes toppling backwards. That has to raise your heart rate.
I tell you what, when somebody throws that hard up and in, you hear it more than you see it. And then you smell it. It's that close.
1 ball and 2 strikes. It's the first ball thrown by Chapman. The pitch. Whoa, boy. Up near the head again and all the way to the backstop. That had Lux backing up. And if his heart rate wasn't fast a moment ago, it is now.
Well, I guarantee if Chapman opts to spin a slider in there, we might see Gavin Lux corkscrew himself into the ground.
The set by the tall left-hander. His 2-2 pitch is way outside. He did throw a slider. And it missed by a lot. 3-2. You don't want to walk this man and bring the tying run to the plate. And it's Steer, who's already hit a dinger here today. Payoff pitch. Swing and a pop foul to play to the left.
You can always tell when Chapman is trying to dial in the command, because that fastball velocity would drop to 97, 98. He has much better touch and feel with that pitch at that velocity.
It's pretty good when you're
amazing.
getting over fastballs 97.
At 37 years old.
Yes. 3-2 pitch and a defensive posture and a foul ball again by Lux.
I mean, how uncomfortable are you if you're Gavin Lux?
I feel uncomfortable for him.
1 at your chin, 1 at your ear, and by the way, all right, here's still 100 miles an hour. And I
after
did
that,
show
he's
you
done
the
well
slider.
to fight off a couple of pitches.
Yeah, he has.
Here comes another 3-2 pitch. It's a bounding ball on the left side. Story and Meyer almost collided. Story played it and throws to first for the out. Meyer was going to his left. Story was going to backhand it. And fortunately for the Red Sox, they didn't collide. Story played it, threw him out. Lux retired after a good battle, and Chapman has another perfect outing. He's now not allowed an earned run in his last 14. And the Red Sox win Game 2 of this 3-game series, 5-3.
And Brian Bale was very good. He gets his first win since June 15th. He had lost his previous 2 outings. A little bit wild with the command there to start the game, but then really dialed it in. A lot of weak hit ground balls, weak fly balls. He was pretty good today.
Contributions from many. 2 more hits for Abreu after he had the 2 home runs in the opener of this series a couple of nights ago. He drove in another run, scored 1, stole a base. Abraham Toro had 2 hits and was really responsible for the tying run and the go-ahead run. He reached on a double in the 6th and wound up scoring the tying run in that inning. And then he reached on a 1-out single in the 8th, was replaced by Nate Eaton, who stole second, who wound up scoring the run that broke the 3-3 tie. The Red Sox added another in the 8th, and they win it 5-3. We'll be back with the totals and much more in a moment on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away. Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Lowe's knows July 4th savings are worth celebrating. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances and get an additional 10% off 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, get 3 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. These deals are coming in hot. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
With just 2 days till July 4th weekend, now's the time to make sure you're stocked on sparklers. Grab an ice-cold Mountain Dew with a refreshing citrus kick for an epic 4th of July celebration. Because America's Birthday Bash deserves refreshment that's like fireworks of explosive flavor.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me a river, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew.
Do the Dew.
On my podcast, Aspire with Emma Greed, we share the keys to succeed in business and in life. Listen to and follow Aspire with Emma Greed, an Odyssey podcast, wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the Nissan Postgame Show. At Nissan, we make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com.
The totals brought to us by the Massachusetts State Lottery. Let's make it the best night ever. Grab your friends, pick your number, celebrate the night with Keno. And the Mass State Lottery must be 18 years or older to play. Red Sox win it 5-3. 5 runs on 8 hits and no errors for Boston. 3 runs on 3 hits for Cincinnati and no errors. The Red Sox left 4 men on base and Cincinnati left 2. The winning pitcher, Brian Bayo, who took the mound to start the resumption of play, gave up a 2-run homer to Spencer Steer in what was the top of the 4th that briefly gave Cincinnati the lead 3-2, but the Red Sox rallied to win as the bullpen of Bayo and Chapman held off Cincinnati the rest of the way. Lyon Richardson took the loss. He's 0-3, and Chapman saved it his 15th. The time of the game, a very brisk 2 hours and 9 minutes. The only problem was there was an 80-minute rain delay last night.
It felt a lot longer, Sean.
It felt a lot longer.
Yeah, 2
but
days.
when they played the game, it was 2:09 before 32,355. Most of them were here last night. Fewer than half that total here this afternoon, but those who were here saw a well-played game and a particularly very well-pitched game by Brian Bayo today.
Yeah, I was really impressed. And you look at his pitch usage today, about 88% of his pitches were versions of the fastball. He threw the sinker 50% of the time, the cutter, the 4-seamer he mixed in. He didn't have to go to the changeup and the sweeper much because he was commanding the pitches at higher velocity, which got him a lot of weak contact off the hands, off the end of the bat. And as we've seen, that's when he's at his absolute best.
The attendance report was brought to us by Crispy Crunchy Chicken. craving some crunch, and who isn't right now? Good time to have one between games of this maybe not a doubleheader. Get fresh hand-breaded chicken tenders or a crispy chicken sandwich spiced just right, and you can get them right here in the ballpark. 5-3 is the final. The Red Sox have made it 2 in a row, and again, good contributions up and down the lineup today, Will. A number of those contributing, most notably Wilyer Abreu and Abraham Toro.
Yeah, well, Toro has just been so consistent for this ball club since he got the opportunity to play some first base. Obviously, Tristan Casas going down, you're thinking, okay, Romy Gonzalez is going to be our everyday guy, and you're okay with that. He's a good ball player, hits lefties, obviously, much better than righties. And then he goes down with that collision at first base for a few days. And Toro gets an opportunity, takes complete, I want to say the bulls by the horns, but I'm not trying to make a joke about his name, but that's what he did. But with the opportunity he was given, and they haven't been able to keep him out of the lineup. His ability to hit both righties and lefties and being a switch hitter, he's improved dramatically at first base, helping these infielders out on picks down low, learning the reads between him and the second baseman and the pitcher, those in-between balls. He's been such a pleasant surprise for this club this year.
As soon as we're finished here, stay tuned for the Nissan post-game show. Recap of this afternoon's action. Get you set for the regularly scheduled game with the first pitch at 7:10. Nissan is here to help you save this summer with lower MSRPs on Rogue and Pathfinders. Possibilities are endless. Visit your local dealer today. We'll step aside and be back with much more from Fenway in just a moment on the Shaws and Star Market WEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for